Thank you, Baxter.
Hello, everyone. It's me. Tales of my death have been greatly exaggerated. It's me, BGE. How are you? I bet you regret having ears now. Yes, he's finally back performing for you. He hates Nika, so you can too. Hello, everyone. What's up? Okay, song's done. Song's done. And hey, we've got a special guest here, everybody, as we sometimes do. Let me unmute him here. It's Feeso. Hey, Feeso, can you hear me?
Hello, everyone. At this point, calling me a special guest is a bit of a stretch.
a bit, yes, a bit
semi-regular.
inaccurate. A semi-regular. Some may say the true host of this show. The true
the
star.
host behind the host. Thanks for having me on again.
Happy to have you.
By the way, do you have that recording of you going like at the beginning, like in the can?
Absolutely not. No, it's raw. It's rugged. It's fresh every time.
Awesome.
I punish my body for this stream, and I don't enjoy doing it.
You sacrifice.
I really do. I really do. Okay, now real quick, I know that there were some donators. Let me just check those individuals that are here in the stream.
Good, right?
I'm sorry for cutting into your Mario time, everyone. Just play while I drip feed you the correct opinions. That's the desired way to do it. Reich, 7 months. Hey, thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Baxter.
TYB. Rocket Kiss for 4 months. Another TYB.
Thank you, Baxter.
And Chernobite, 17 months. Again, you're cutting into my Mario time. Hacked. Yes.
Thank you, Baxter.
All of you.
Easy money.
It is easy money. All right. Okay, we're all caught up. Let's hurry this show along, shall we, ladies and gentlemen?
A comment says to lower me slightly and raise yourself slightly.
Excuse me. I did think that you were a little bit loud. Okay, let me lower him.
Also, another comment is asking what my accent is. I was born and raised in England, but English people seem to think I sound American, whereas Americans say I sound British. So
yeah, it's a little bit of a no man's land for me. I don't know. I guess I can kind of hear it. Okay, I adjusted his audio down quite a bit. Let me know if it is too low, people. I'll keep an eye on the chat. Now, and they were saying that I am also low. I'll turn myself up slightly. I might fuck everything up, but test. Let me watch my levels here. Test. Okay, that's got to be good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Off we go. Just say you're from Wuhan. Yeah, that's good. All right. Let's go to the stream. Here we go. Yes. Yeah, you speak with a bit of a thick Nikan accent. You know, I really
yes.
Nikan.
I was I grew up hearing about Joy Boy and stuff. It's the Buccaneer blood in me.
Oh, right, of course. I forgot about all that. Okay, we will discuss. And we've got to do the vote, of course. Why is this not letting me scroll? Okay, there it is. Okay, as of last stream, let's see where things went. Okay, it was Goda took it. Goda took it by a leg. It was a 34% vote for Goda and a 66% hack to vote, and yet Goda took it. Last stream in September, it was a while ago, and yes, everyone felt robbed, but what can I say? I felt the Nika spirit flow into me, and I, of course, took the wheel, thus voting Goda. Okay, it's kind of a paradox.
Are we doing two votes this week, or are you going to do it all as a combined double?
You know, that I was wondering about that. You definitely could combine it into one vote, but I thought we also could do two. I will leave it to the chat. Okay, in the chat, real quick, press 1 if you want it to be one vote. Press 2 if you would like it to be 2 votes, because it's definitely doable to do 2. Okay, I'm seeing a good amount of 2s. All right, I've saw 1. Okay, the people have spoken. Yeah. It will be two separate votes. Okay, no problem.
They want a second chance.
That's understandable. When they lose all their money the first time, they're going to want a chance to get some of it back. Alas, I will just take that as well. You cannot...
Just double down, guys.
The house always wins, and you always lose. Oh, Reddit Sephiroth. Hey, buddy, link that, audio of yours or whatever. I'll probably not play it this time because it's too late. But yes, you did make something, right? And it should be used probably next stream, which is going to be in a little bit. But yeah, link that in the chat so I don't forget to do it next time. It's just I've been away I missed 2 weeks because I was just busy 1 week and I was sick last week. And my cough is not fake. I was under the weather last week, so it was unavoidable. Okay, anyway, so start prediction. Let's begin. Is it Goda or Hacta? And we'll put that in for 1090. It's 94, right? Let's double check. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 94.
1094. Just to be super duper clear. And all right, you've got 30 minutes to vote. Ladies and gents, start right now, and there you go. Will it be Goda or will it be Hacta? Only fate knows. Only my buccaneer blood can tell me what the future holds. Okay, and let me just pull up my proper screens. Okay, there we are. Okay, so we'll probably go reasonably quickly, as I always try to do, but maybe today we'll actually pull it off, because we've got 2 chapters to cover, so we'll try not to take all night.
We shall see.
We'll see. Okay, so cool cover of Jump from 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, whenever it was. You've got the Shine Man, and you've got Luffy, and that says Nakama. I know what that says. That's pretty cool. Excellent. And we move on. Now, a bunch of hack frauds named TCB Scans have once again translated the chapter for us. I don't like or respect anybody on this list, and I have nothing but contempt for them.
They're just the worst.
They're an embarrassment, no doubt about it.
I know.
And what does Oda have to say here? Big thanks to you, Sekai no Owari and Chili Beans, the artist behind the songs used for the anime's new opening and ending sequences. The animation accompanying the new opening is so captivating, I can't say how satisfied I was watching it. And I believe the anime has reached the end of the battle, right? We're past Nika, we're at like post Wano type stuff.
Yeah, we were like in the part where they're all like bathing and stuff.
Everyone's favorite part, right?
Yeah,
and
where Kiku doesn't care about her brother dying.
Oh, right. Indeed. That's very unfortunate. And for those who are unclear, Teal is Feeso, who we've got here on the chat with us. Isn't that fun, everybody? Thank you for translating. Whoops, I let the cat out of the bag. Okay, cool color spread. I don't know what this says. Do you know what the kanji here says on this page? Roughly?
It's right beneath it. It's the 101 senses soaring Jigoku dragon.
But what does that like mean? You know, what are they getting?
Okay,
at?
so like, oh god, like, okay, so like when this came up, it was when we were scanlating the King versus Zoro fight, and I think I put a translation note on that chapter. But the 103 senses is a Buddhist reference.
Okay.
Soaring dragon is obviously just to sound cool, but also because he's he's like doing the same kind of motion to cut the dragon.
Right.
Which is what this whole spread is like to attribute to the Shimotsukis, and because they're doing a adaptation of Monster.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Jigoku, like, it's like...
I'm very excited to see all the aura piece crammed into Monster that we can possibly get. It's very exciting stuff. Thank you, Toei.
Like, think of Jigoku as like Buddhist hell or purgatory. It's just like, this was like when he was doing the King of Hell thing, right? So he's he's cutting a dragon, he's King of Hell, he's using all 103 senses according to like Buddhist beliefs.
Damn, I've only got like 5, possibly 6, but I guess the Wanois are just built different. By the way, is this on the top left with the red hair? Is that like King or something? Who is that?
I was thinking it's Pin Zoro, like Zoro's dad or whatever,
or
like,
or
granddad,
or maybe it's Ryuma when he was alive.
Young Ryuma.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
it probably is. Sense. It probably is a young Ryuma, especially because his left eye is covered, and we know that Ryuma is missing an eye.
Right. That's a fair bet. And something about Kuina looks a lot older here than when we last saw her. She looks like she's like a teenager or something. And she was like, 12
I mean, she was always a bit older than Zoro. But this is obviously just like, Oda's art with Queen in it.
Indeed, it's evolving. And everyone seems to have like greenish and bluish hair. I guess that's a thing they're doing.
Kuina with that black hair is interesting because like she's usually like portrayed in the anime and stuff as having like a blue highlight.
Oh, I'm getting a clarification. This is actually Tashigi, Zoro's rival. This is an there is no other character that looks at all like this. This must be her when she was young. Okay, I see how you could be confused about. I certainly was confused. A young Tashigi.
We do a volume check, by the way.
Sorry, say again.
Should we do a volume check?
Is there a new volume cover?
No. I mean, like,
audio volume,
our
right?
volume.
Yeah. Anyone care to comment? Is our audio roughly equal? Any adjustments should be made? Are we good? Okay, I'll look for any comments, but it seems okay to me. All right, so audio is fine. Okay, great. All right, then let's move on to the actual chapter and see what Oda too high can still hear you. That's true. You got me there. Okay. Also,
shut up, bitch!
I just got called an Oda apologist.
You are an Oda. You are the resident Oda apologist. We tolerate little to none of that, but for right now, I guess it can slide.
I like to think of myself as a counterbalance.
Okay, so quick a chart check. Now, as we all know, the top of the this, oh god, I'm forgetting the term for it, pacifista hierarchy. Now, as we all know, it goes up to Vegapunk, and like we can just assume there's nothing above that, right? I mean, why would there be anything above Vegapunk? That there's no need to think. I mean, maybe theoretically there's like some tier that would be above Vegapunk, but we honestly don't even need to think about
it's
that.
It's not going to be relevant to the story.
I don't think there's any chance of being relevant to the story.
Chance.
So okay, glad we.
I mean, Oda only brought up like 6 times. It's not relevant.
Yeah. He really hammered that home, but okay, that's fine. That's fine. So Atlas was here, telling them to defeat the Marines. At the time, that was the active order that was whatever, taking their minds over. And here go the Marines. They are on the lookout because they were about to be blasted in the ass by the pacifistas, and there they go. Bazoom,
brutal order by Vegapunk, because all of these like Mark IIIs can like capture them and put them in their chests. But he's like, eliminate.
That was not really a necessary order. I guess it was efficient, but was it necessary to say kill them all and their families too, track them down and eradicate their bloodline?
I don't think
that was
Goda
necessary.
because it's Goda because it's friggin' Atlas who's Wrath.
You know what? It makes sense. Okay, you know what? Good theming, Oda. Okay, nicely done. That's a point for Goda, I would say. So look at this innocent Marine, just wants to get home to his wife and kids, but Atlas will see to it that does not happen. Thank God. Okay, so the Marines, they're scrambling. They've got lots of problems to deal with right now. The Vegapunks are still on their way down, looking for Bonnie. Riding on that fun cloud road, which is kind of cool. Okay, whatever. There's some brief lore about how this thing works. It's fine. Sanji appears to be going through the bubble. So does that mean this is like Shabon the Archipelago type bubble technology? Oh, I forgot. He's got the bubble guns. They've got their own kind of bubble thing going on here.
I think they're like based on a similar kind of like theory.
Yeah, probably.
Like the clouds are from Skypiea.
Yeah, and of course we could infer that Vegapunk is able to probably replicate like any natural or unnatural phenomenon that he understands. So okay, cool. No second poll. We will do the second poll when we get to the second chapter, Supa. Don't. I think you can only have one at a time, right? Anyway, we'll do it afterward. Okay, so Sanji's looking for Bonnie. He has found her. His lady radar has detected her, and he's about to. They're heading off, but Sanji is too fast, so he runs ahead of these slow science.
The translator had to hold me back from making the pun Ladar.
Laydar.
Yeah.
Right.
One translator was for it, the other one was against it, and I was like, fine. I won't do it. I really wanted it because, Japanese LNR, you don't know, maybe Oda intended that.
Oh, that yeah, you know what? Good point.
Well, it probably is like Ladar. Like, it probably is like that, radar.
Oh, God, excuse me.
But yeah.
I'm still dying here. Okay. Okay, all right. So we're now at Bonnie. Okay. The pacifista are looking for her, and they're gonna kill her. And here comes a big clam-wielding Marine. Interesting. Okay. And Bonnie's about to do something. She's got a gun, and she's doing a flip. And then we have probably got to be one of the preeminent ass shots in like all of One Piece. I think this is top 5 easily. I question if there's any actual moment above this. Anyone? Let me know. Bonnie is also a clam wielder. Ha! Got his ass. Oda really did discover the concept of ass recently, and he has decided to include it. So there he goes. Okay, so NDE, aka Near Death Experience. Now there must have been some punnery going on with this one. Was there?
Not really. The Japanese was just like in kana near death experience.
Oh,
no. Sorry, the kana was NDE, like spelled out in katakana.
I see.
And the kanji was like near death experience. So like it said both.
Okay. Well, so she shoots them in the brain. This is like what I wish Oda did all the time, which is just like, and it's interesting because it's kind of like a legacy character whose like ability he thought up, like, I don't know, 15 years ago or something now. And just now she's kind of getting her chance to use it creatively. That is just all I want all the time. I wish that's just everything that One Piece was. Throw hockey in the trash. Throw all this other nonsense away. This is what makes One Piece good. When you have this guy got shot in the head and he's totally fine, and then he turned into a skeleton for a split second, and then turned back and fell down just because I guess her ability. We know her ability can't permanently age you. That, whatever. It's been described as that, like, it temporarily de-ages you. So she uses it to like scare you about your death. And then you fall down really spooked about it, which I guess would work against, like, fodder. Probably wouldn't work against somebody with, like...
Her abilities are fascinating, because she also had that distorted future ability where, like, she, like, became really muscly. Like, she, like, went to a timeline where she was really muscly and stuff.
That, which is, like, maybe it's like a condensed version of, like, Gon becoming Gon-san. Only, like, she can do it temporarily because her powers, like, don't last that long or whatever. So she could be like, this would be a fucked up future where I did nothing but bench press for, like, 10 billion hours every day.
I'm actually not sure what her ability would be, actually is called. I don't think it is the age fruit. I think it's, like...
I wonder if it is.
It's probably going to be revealed to be, like, the, like... I don't know.
Time? Well, it can't be time, obviously.
I don't know. Yeah, we've already had time.
Yeah,
it would be crazy though if she actually has the time fruit. Actually, now that I think about it, because
it would just like another usage of it in a different kind of way.
I mean, yeah, it's possible, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so. I
don't think her fruit has been confirmed, but I could be wrong.
I'm checking the wiki. Yeah, I mean, it would be on here if it was confirmed. Doesn't look like it. Okay, well, anyway, I mean, it's a cool power, and again, like, I feel that I have been super consistent for the decades I've been reading One Piece. I just love when he does creative stuff with silly powers. That's like consistently the best thing about One Piece all the time, and this other nonsense just gets in the way. So more of that, please. That's the good stuff. Now back to Clam Man, who's my favorite character now. What's gotten into you guys? I saw the river Styx, or the Sanzu River. Okay, right. So they referenced the Sanzu River, the Buddhist thing.
It is Sanzu, yeah. But, I know a lot of people don't bother reading these little translator notes in the margins, so I put the westernized version in the text, which is what Viz did.
Wisely so. Wisely so.
People, just I want the pun to be instantly understandable.
Is Nika also a silly creative power? You know the answer to that, Soko. You know the answer to that. Don't make me spell it out for you. I will not get sidetracked on a huge Nika thing. Not today, baby. Not today. Okay, I'm sorry. Now, hang on. There was something I was going to... I wanted to check if Clam Man... Okay, we can't see his powers here yet. It looks like we do see his powers, I think, like, in a little bit later on in the chapter. Okay. So, Bonnie's going to fight the big Kuma-looking dude. Is this her first time encountering a pacifista, like, ever?
No, when she's, when we first get to Egghead, she's like, "Not my daddy," in front of Luffy. When he was about to fight one.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He was in the police garb. And that's actually the moment where Luffy stops calling her... No, actually, it's a bit before that. Luffy just called her Boogie or something. And didn't remember her real name until he heard about her tragic backstory.
And he's like, oh, she's like a real person.
Yeah, I think Luffy uses real names for people he respects.
Personally, I would respect her more if she didn't bitch out and just kept it together. It's like, you know what? I'm going to make a reference that's too obscure. Never mind. Stop crying, Bonnie. Get it together. That's my point. And Luffy should agree with me.
Well,
And he's
I'm
a bad
pretty sure
character.
like Bonnie is a child at this point. So
Are you
cut
part
this
of the
into that.
like she's actually like 10 years old, but she uses her fruit to age up crowd?
I wasn't until like recently. Like the
Hmm.
Japanese just like they keep using stuff
Okay.
like yojo to describe her and stuff like that.
What does
Like,
that mean?
Like little girl.
Okay.
Like kid. Like Vegapunk literally uses child.
Okay,
like,
but Vegapunk is like 80 years old. So I mean,
No, he's actually like 68 or something.
okay,
not
but
even that
he's
old.
old man coded, and all right. Well, listen, you
Yeah.
definitely could be right. And there's also, I guess, the piece of evidence is that she was underwater and looked like a little girl. So
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't like that until very recently, but with the last 2-3 chapters, I
Mhm.
feel like they've been saying it every chance they can.
okay. In the bet thread in the Talking Pirates Discord, I think I would put down a solid amount of honor that there will be no such shenanigans. That she will be basically the age that she's been presented as since the beginning. That's what I'm going to go with that. And
We'll see.
shall
I'll
see.
DM you, told you so, when it's revealed.
I will DM you told you so when you're revealed to be
Okay.
wrong. God damn it.
How many Buckaroo bits are you putting on this?
I would put quite a few. Do I have a limit? Okay, we'll hash out the details later, but okay, this sounds like a real bet has begun. Likely a little girl. You know, I could read the text more thoroughly, but I just know in my heart that I'm right. Okay. And I'll
You just
tell you
want
why.
to be right,
I'll tell you why. Because I've
Because you
all
don't like
it's
the
no.
iffiness.
I'll tell you, I have already jacked off to Bonnie too many times. Oda cannot. He is not allowed to pull the rug out from under me like that. It cannot be done. This is why it literally will not happen. It could not happen. Oda knows. Oda knows that it can't be done. That's it. And I'm telling you, that's like that is a solid reason that Oda would not do it. All right, call the FBI if you want. I'll be vindicated. Okay, and we move on. I will be proved right. You'll see. You'll see. Okay, Vice Admiral Bluegrass. Here she is. Don't worry, dearie. Okay, what are we talking about? She's riding on a pacifista here, even though it's
she can hijack anything with the ride fruit.
And you know,
I assume like if she was like on a ship or like a horse or something.
I
it's
want
just
to
like,
know
you
more. I want to know more about the extent of these powers. And is this like a jockey no mi type situation, or are we talking about like full mind control? You know, I want to know more details. Either way, it's reasonably cool. At least there's a bit of creativity going on here. This power is slightly broader than I typically like. Like if she rides Luffy,
That's pretty good,
is it
right?
game over for all of One Piece? Did we win?
Well,
and
I
that's
assume because we got revealed rather recently that Haki can with enough Haki you can like defend yourself against devil fruit attacks.
Snooze! I'm
yeah.
snoozing so hard, but yes, you are right. That has been established clearly. Oh, and by the way, Seb here, 6 months or 7 months, I can't tell what it says here. Feeso coming in to save the stream from Leku.
Thank you, Baxter.
Thank you, Feeso, for doing so. We all appreciate that.
Thank you, Silas.
Okay, so the ride has begun. Ms. Bluegrass's wild ride never ends. I take it offing you will lift the age curse on my ickle subordinates. Right, okay, so her subordinates have been aged or something.
Yeah.
So there you go. She's blasting. And see, look at Bonnie freezing up. Dodge the laser blast, Bonnie. Get it together. Okay, so she's
That's
freezing
literally
up.
what Sanji says to her.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Sanji saves Bonnie once again, doing his best to save Le Girl. They told me about Kuma being your dad. Keep a cool head. Okay, now here is Otter Man. So Clam Man Otter Body appears to whack an otter.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's actually sea otter to be more specific, but it's a bit clunky to work that into dialogue.
Yeah, okay. What if it was like, hey, see this otter attack?
Yeah.
Sea otter hit you in the face with a big old clam. This is all free. You may use this in the future. That's fine.
Oh god, I'm gonna steal that.
Okay, so whatever. Bonnie has been saved by Sanji. A Sigma just like me for real. Nicely done, Sanji. And they get in the ship, and they're going to drive off again. Great. Okay. So
Well,
this
it
whole
is
sequence is saving
If
Bonnie.
Bonnie is a little girl, it is kind of tragic for Sanji fans. Like the one woman who actually admires him and is like, "Oh, he's kind of amazing. He's a cook and a fighter." It's just because she's a little girl with a crush, and not because Sanji's cool.
I guess
That would be tragic.
Bonnie being a little girl, I guess, would be perfectly acceptable. It wouldn't really cause any... I was just thinking, like, does it make sense for her? Like, so Bonnie is a very capable pirate captain, and, like, she got her bounty, I'm sure, for some good reason. And there were all these theories that, like, you know, she was used to de-age the Gorosei and all that stuff, and that's why they're, like, immortal or something. That certainly hasn't been, like, proved true, and it doesn't look like it's going to be true.
I think it's been proved false, but we'll get there.
Because we know her abilities are temporary now, so that is a pretty big debunking of that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would say that, again, the little girl thing, for me, it doesn't, like, ring true because she is, like, a strong, capable pirate captain. And, like, if you're a little girl, like, why is she so, like, capable and strong and, like, good at stuff? I guess she could just
is
be
she?
good.
Her crew got absolutely bodied as soon as they
Okay,
entered
but
the
she
New
was
World.
a supernova. That's not nothing. That is, like,
Okay, but
impressive.
like Robin had a ginormous 80 million bounty. Like just being related to Kuma or having her fruit could be enough.
Well, I guess that would be the counter theory, that, like, she earned it due to, like, reputation, basically, as opposed to, you know, because we don't know exactly why her bounty was that high or anything like that. And I would look it up, but, okay, I don't care that much. Okay, anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, to the Labo Stratum Boys, back we go to the Nika Man and the Pika Man. So, my two favorite guys. Okay, so there they go, fighting. Light Man says, I've got a job to do, and we're playing around. Pant. Oh, he's panting. Power scaling, bros. Add that up. He's panting against Nika. Okay, thus proving that his Dorikis are 10,000 tops. Okay.
Nika is also wheezing. Here.
I see a puff. I do see a puff. That's true. Although Luffy is awakened right now, and Pika Man is, as far as we know, not awakened. So factor that into your Doriki calculations, everybody. Okay, so they're fighting. He's keeping him away or whatever, and then okay, this is great stuff.
They go back to the captain's duty thing with his job, which is like similar to the Katsukuri duel. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure. I like when Luffy acts in a I don't know, like a captain-y way. It's impressive. Yeah. But Luffy is a joke. Okay, Luffy is cringe, and Kizaru is based because Kizaru, I mean, if Kizaru applied the ideal strategies, I feel like he would be literally untouchable because you definitely cannot keep up with him, and he has, like, infinite long-distance nukes that he can just shoot at you forever. Aiming, I guess, could be hard, but when you shoot things at the speed of light, you can probably just blanket your attacks, and it'll eventually hit somebody. But
I actually wonder about stamina and Devil Fruit's usage. Like,
that is a good question. We do know that they use stamina. I mean, like, Law's abilities are, you know, it seems like he could do anything, but Oda was like, no, stamina, like, is a thing. He can't do, like, anything infinitely. Now, did it ever matter even a single time? No, but there is a theoretical
Law
limit.
is always like, okay, man.
One more attack. One more.
I've just got one more in me, like, every single time.
Every single goddamn time. And see right here, like, Kizaru just, like, he dashes away, and, like, what's Luffy gonna do? Luffy is, like, not fast enough to keep up with a man moving at the speed of light, and then he'll just blast him from a distance, I guess. Okay, but anyway, we'll review the battle tactics as we go. So, everyone's facing off, Luffy and Zoro and Lucci as well. When they feel Le Ominous Presence. Okay, here it is. So, another distinguished Marine gentleman. Okay, looking good with his pimp hat on and pimp cane in tow. So, pacifista units cease all action immediately. Now, hang on there. This is so confusing. Did we not already hit the top of the command hierarchy with Vegapunk? I know in theory there was something above Vegapunk's, but, like, there's no way that ever would have been plot relevant. Okay, right. The joke is past. Okay, so the pacifistas were ordered to stop by some mysterious theoretical role above
You know what
Vegapunk.
I wish, Nate?
What's
you know
that?
what I wish?
Yeah.
Like, Oda actually, like, used the traitor arc, like the Among Us plot he's been
Yeah.
developing here, where we've got the traitor of York.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that he actually just had that secret extra level to the command hierarchy be
That could have
like
been revealed
something
right
which York
now or
just
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
which York programmed in for this exact moment.
And you
when
know
she
what?
cracked the deal with the
I
Gorosei.
will give Oda credit that by being so insistent and like making it so there was absolutely zero potential for confusion on this point, because he's hit it like 10 times, he has successfully avoided assholes like me being like, oh wow, Oda, you're just pulling this out of your ass at the last minute. I'll give him that. He avoided me
fair
doing
enough.
that. So you've got that
If in
going.
another timeline he did that.
In
we
another
would be
timeline, he
complaining.
didn't mention it, he pulled it, and I'm like, oh, wow, how convenient. And so I guess it's fine. Brain did sidestep this very obvious trap. It's true. I mean, I don't know. About the Gorosei thing, I think what he really should have done is, well, okay, I mean, there's a couple things that I would tweak about this arc. I think he probably just shouldn't have revealed the Gorosei being here until, like, now. And I really can't think of any reason why that, like, would have been impossible to just do the reveal right now. And, like, it was established. And then all of us are like, holy shit, there's a Gorosei here. That is, like, a big deal. Meanwhile, that threat, you know, it's going to be interesting to see. But it's been
I feel
kind
like
of
we
muted.
would have been like, BS, how did he get here so fast? There was no build up to this.
I mean, that's potentially possible, sure. But, you know, I mean, if it was not clarified in some, or if it wasn't like shown to be some other way, I guess I would probably say something like, well, Jesus, Oda, this timeline has been back and forth and so unbelievably confusing. I would have no idea where any character was, which was like a little bit true, but that was not a problem. So I will not give him shit for it. But as you were saying, the biggest thing, my biggest dislike of the arc so far, some people disagree with me about this, I think they're crazy, was we had the York reveal, which was awesome, and then we just did a bunch of other stuff, cut back, and that threat was, like, totally resolved in, like, the most, I mean, it wasn't even boring, it was just, like, not even attempted, and I think that is really not good, and I think it was, like, a potentially good story that we just did not get, instead we got nothing, and people say, like, oh, but it would have been boring. Well, just write it good then, I don't know, like, York was like a traitor. We had just killed 1 or 2 Vegapunks, and am I crazy for being like, damn, I sure want to see how York, like, prepared for this scenario and will, like...
I think there is potential in a story like that, but I also think it's, like, funny, subversive, and satisfying to just be like, and we beat them. Like, because, like, the fun part of a mystery is building up to the mystery more than it is, like, taking down the baddie.
I mean, I will give it, this is sort of a
It feels
compliment.
very One Piece-ish to, like, gloss over how they, like, beat her.
I won't say that things like that don't ever happen in One Piece. They definitely do, but I guess my compliment to Oda would be I liked the York plotline so much that I was really looking forward to, like, look, I know this is One Piece. I don't expect, like, a deep philosophical treatise, or treatise, whatever it's pronounced, about, like, why York is, like, the perfect embodiment of, like, vice as a piece of Vegapunk, and blah, 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 it makes sense or whatever, even though we all know it's kind of bullshit. There's one that's, like, called the Evil One. What does that even mean? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I do like York, period. Yes, York was great. And then to just go from, like, York doing something to totally neutered, I felt was, like, basically a waste of a character. And maybe Oda will later do something interesting with York. Like, York is not literally done as a character. There will probably be something to, like, tie up York's arc or whatever at the end, since York is, like, not dead yet, but I don't know.
I feel like York escapes with the Seraphim on the government side. No matter
possible.
what happens with the Elders and Kizaru, I feel like York lives to fight another day.
Maybe York's survival must be... I mean, there's got to be, like, some point to it, I would think, narratively. Either it's that, like, York continues to function in some way as, like, the Vegapunks, the Vegapunk that still works for the world government. And,
yeah,
you know.
I feel like that has to be the case because they need, like, the Mother Flame to be mass-produced for whatever, like, evil threat it's going to pose later on.
Yeah, that makes sense, honestly. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll see. Okay, so
Spellbinding circle. Oh my god.
Say again.
Spellbinding circle.
Yes, it is time to get into that. Okay, I mean, in an arc that has, like, I'm not the biggest fan of like Clone Piece. And like, speaking of things that don't belong in One Piece. Okay, now I'm not freaking out here. I'm just making the observation that as the Marines are, magic circles are something that have like never been in One Piece and are suddenly real. And what does it mean? It's worth talking about. Okay, but we'll get back to it in a moment. Yes, I do remember Brooks' Satan Circle. That was a little bit of a different situation there.
Go to chapter 508.
What happened in 508? Oh, that's Brooke.
I'm just making up.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying it. It's
so
like a chapter 1 moment, but it's in
a
the
magic circle appears, and okay, we'll get back to the Five Elders. Okay, we'll get back to that in a moment. Okay, so they're riding on the cloud thing. The Marines on the island are advised that Saint Saturn is about to make landfall, so get the fuck out of there. Any Marine ranked Commodore and below is ordered to avert their gaze. Transgressors will not be forgiven. This is pretty interesting, the degree to which we're going here. And it is, I know the sort of the news has kind of set in for everybody. I'm obviously catching up here. But it is so bizarre to be at the point in my reading One Piece life cycle where, like, the Gorosei really are just becoming, like, the big meme threat that people have, like, written their fan comics about and speculated on for, like, literal decades of our lives. And
But I'm so glad it's like this and not like a generic, like, one of them ate the dinosaur fruit, one of them ate this fruit. I'm really glad that it's...
I honestly haven't really made up my mind what I feel about this yet, which means I don't, like, hate it or anything. I'm kind of intimidated, and, I mean... we're obviously dealing with, like, super special devil fruit territory a little bit, but
I don't think they're devil fruits at all.
Are you of the like Eam power extending to the Gorosei?
Yeah, I think that this is far older than the devil fruits. It might have the same power source as the devil fruits.
Sure.
But I feel like this is like ancient, like primordial, like power which Emu has granted to them.
Okay,
we will talk about it more in a minute.
I was going to say Seb's comment here. Seb, schizo individual that he is, says, notice, Nate, that they say from Commodore below, don't look, so Vice Admiral and above can see Gorosei guys as they all have hockey. Huh?
No, because rear admirals don't necessarily have hockey.
Right, but what? I'm confused. What do you mean this? How would this be related to hockey exactly? I am not getting the...
because vice admirals above have hockey.
No. I know the lore about, like, with the vice admirals all have hockey and stuff, but I'm saying, what do these powers have to do with hockey that we're seeing here? I'm confused as to, like, what the connection is to the powers that we're demonstrating here.
I think it could be connected to hockey, but I don't see why the admirals having hockey is relevant to why they'll be allowed to look.
Yeah, I feel like
you're only allowed to look if you have, like, clearance. It's like the real...
Now Aniki O correctly says this is a Doriki situation, not a hockey one. That is the correct thing. That's the correct axis to look at this from. Okay. All right. Well,
Doriki was always a mistranslation. It was always meant to be hockey.
I'm sure that's correct. I was rereading some Japanese One Piece the other day. Doing my practice, and I read the part about with the Dorikis from Eni's Lobby, and not what am I saying? Eni's Lobby. Sorry, getting confused. And I was looking at the translation of the word Doriki, and it's like technique, like do, the kanji for that is like budo, as in like martial arts or whatever, and then riki for power. And I thought to myself, I wonder if what was, like, actually being implied here is actually just, like, the strength of your rokushiki technique specifically, as opposed to...
I think that's exactly what it is. Although I think he does actually like rate their Doriki when like the Straw Hats punch them. Maybe does he?
I don't think it ever comes up after that one scene where, like, I
Yeah.
remember the only ones who are given a number are all known, confirmed practitioners of.
Yeah,
of
I think it's
Rokushiki.
like technique strength.
and
be
that could
honest.
mean all kinds of things. Like there's it obviously isn't fleshed out very well, but it might, one very sober reading of it would just be like they're giving a number to your Rokushiki like technique strength specifically,
You know,
and that's it.
upsets me. It upsets me that fans are like, Oda, the amazing like connoisseur. Like I'm like this like 90% of the time about
Yeah.
this stuff. But like when they're like Oda, the like amazing like connoisseur of
Yeah.
shonen manga, is putting an insightful parody on power scaling and
You know-
battle powers.
I was thinking about that too as I was rereading it. And I was thinking, like, is this a parody? My conclusion is I do think it is a somewhat tongue-in-cheek like number given, but it really is not like a parody. There's no joke.
It's seriously done. There's no punchline.
It's
there.
like if there's a punchline, it's just that you're reading it and that they're really discussing
No,
in numerical
the
terms.
punchline
Yeah.
is that they have to punch him to measure it.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
it.
joke. That is the joke part for sure of that scene. So it's like, are there two jokes here? Is there a? I don't think so. I think it was fairly straightforward. So when people say that it was like a subversion, maybe like a little bit, but frankly, I think a totally sober read is that no, Oda really just put in a fairly lazy device to like tell you who was stronger among these guys.
I just feel like, well, he could have just easily been like when Spandam gets the off, it's like,
Yeah.
Lucci, the number 1 agent, and Wolf Guy, the number 2 agent, Jabura, that's it. But he doesn't. Like,
Oh, wait a minute. I
The
almost
thing with-
forgot. My theory about it being only technique strength, we do know that an average Marine is, what did I say, 10 Dorikis,
10
I think?
Doriki, yeah.
So, but your average
They
Marine
don't
doesn't know
know
Rokushiki,
Rokushiki,
so,
yeah.
okay, all right. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, maybe it's just physical strength, like how hard you punch. It'd be
I mean,
funny.
I don't know. I
Like,
mean,
there's
I
no
always think,
spiritual component.
I think always of like the Dragon Ball Z punch the machine in the, I mean, there's the
Yeah,
scatter
the
obviously
blue
too, but
arc.
I since you have your punch, I think of the machine that measures you at the world tournament, but
I
I
feel
don't know.
like Oda, he's like a massive mark for Kinnikuman, and he just
Mm.
wanted to like do a send up to those kind of old school, like give a character a hard number,
sure.
like
sure.
kind of thing.
Yeah, that's where Panda Man acquired his first Dorikis, no doubt. In
Yes,
Kinnikuman.
Panda Man was like a fan submitted character he submitted to Kinnikuman at the time.
Indeed. All right, let's charge ahead here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so explosions are happening. The 5 elders are doing something. Here they come. Oh my God, what's happening on? Okay, there's the Le Magic Circle. Le Darkness is rising out of it. There it is.
Frankie not knowing about the 5 elders is insane.
Who doesn't know? Frankie? Oh yeah, I guess. I mean,
Like
that
he always
doesn't
struck me as a
shock
bit
me.
more worldly to me. Like,
I mean, he's a
Gangster.
smart guy. He's an engineer, so you'd think
Yeah.
he would. If you know who Vegapunk is, it seems maybe it's one of those things where like everyone knows about the Marines, but you're not.
It would be
everyone knows
like
about
an
the world
American not
government.
knowing who the president is, right? Like,
Well-
not even like who the president is, but what a president is.
Yeah, it maybe like slightly different. It'd be like not knowing what Parliament is or something, or Congress. And you know what? Honestly, not everybody does know like what those things are, because it's just a slightly more abstract than like the president. It's like a group. I don't know. Like, it is a little bit weird that he doesn't know. Are we sure it's Frankie? Could it be anybody else who's asking that question?
No, that is Frankie. You can
Yeah.
always tell with Oda's art with whose mouth is open.
Yeah,
That's the one.
that's a fair point. Maybe, okay, I'm going to say this. Wait, no, you're right. In this conversation, he clearly is explaining who the Gorosei are to Frankie, who appears to be shocked about this. Huh, what do you know? I guess it just never came up with Frankie, which is a
He's
little bit
just too
strange.
into his life in Ultra 7.
You'd think that Frankie, a guy that specifically studied Vegapunk's, like, work, and Vegapunk went to work
Well,
for
to
the
me,
Marines.
it's like beyond that. It's like the world government like sentenced Tom to death, right? I think he would know a bit about the world government.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, there's a lot of connections there. By the way, Frankie Vegapunk conversation. Is this the year of Frankie or what, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yes. It's happening. This is what it's all been building to right now.
Like the MVP for these 2 chapters, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. YOF. 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 This year is going so strong right now. I get the year of Frankie is drawing to a close, you know, unfortunately soon. But what a year it's been, all right? Okay, all right. So moving along, we're getting to it.
I can't wait for the year of Brooke.
The year of Brooke is coming up soon. Yeah. Now, Brooke Chads, we know we ate above our pay grade in Whole Cake Island. We do not expect there to be any greatness of anything comparable ever again. And you know what? It's a small, humble lot. But it's a life.
One day we'll get a second flashback that explains how
what the West Blue thing
was attacked while they were defending the devil fruit, and he was forced to eat it and go on the run and become a pirate.
Right.
That's why he got his scar, and that's who hunted down the Rumbar pirates.
What was he called? He was like the leader of the attack squad of a kingdom or something.
He was the leader of a battle convoy.
Yeah. Well, we'll get back to that soon. Okay, so this Marine, who's definitely going to get murdered for this one, and there he goes, looking at a dude.
Sick would it be if you recognized a Gorosei?
Indeed. Quiet, we're not meant to see. He might just Geen, it says Geen, Baka, and his fucking head explodes, visceral gore erupting. Now, I was looking, is this a head off? I do not see an actual head pop off. But it does kind of look like a head explode Tenacious D type situation. So something crazy went on here. And there he is. Holy moly. It's your boy, St. J. Garcia Saturn, the highest authority in the world government, 5 elder stars, planets, defense, science, warrior, god. There he is. I almost can't remember the last time I came up with
have second thoughts about 5 elder planets. Just because the pentagram has a star on it.
Oh, sorry. You said you're having second thoughts about it?
Slightly. Because, like...
Go with star! Go with star!
Clearly,
Go with star! The 5 elder stars! Yes! We will be vindicated!
The intent is that they're planets,
was right!
They're planets. They're like the next level up from the world nobles. They're like literal worlds. They're Jupiter, Saturn, whatever.
Yeah. I remind you in Japanese all the time, star and Hoshi are used for planet.
Well, no, but say is used for...
Say is star. Exactly. It's the kanji. It's used for all these things. It's used for all these things.
It's also used for planet, exactly. But the other thing is like star's literal definition, even in English, could be used to refer to a distant planet.
It could.
So like,
it could.
Yeah, it actually can. So like, I feel like if you were to put a translator note that they are using star with the intention of referencing planets, then it's fine. So I might actually go back and change it.
Oh yes, baby. Oh yes, we're going to be vindicated,
as long
Nate
as it's
Bros.
Clear that they're planets.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
But
sure.
yeah, like that's what it's being used for.
Sangi is asking a good question. How does the official translate it? What do they use?
They're just 5 elders.
Just 5? Okay. So they don't clarify one way or another. All right.
Yeah, they never do. Oda himself has actually romanized it as just 5 planets once, which is the only romanization we've ever gotten for it.
When was that?
It was at Reverie.
Okay. We'll ignore Oda. Oda's wrong. I'm right. Oda's been wrong many times about his own manga before. My translation is vastly superior to Oda's. That guy's cringe. All right. Oda outsources most of the intellectual labor of One Piece to me anyway, as I do these streams and recontextualize his hack work into something manageable. So you're coming to the source right here of all the good takes and all the good ideas.
Okay, do we want to talk about the magic versus devil fruit thing?
Why not? Why not? So, well, first of all, let me see if I have image. People have all seen this right now, but there is a good meme image of our boy Saint Garcia. What appears to be okay. Where did I guess I lost this somewhere. But there is a yokai that looks just like the way our boy Saint Garcia looks. Which is a big, like, bull spider-looking demon guy. So it sure look the Ushi Oinu. That sounds right. Let me see if I can find it. Ushi Oinu. Yep. Okay. Here we go. And let me bring this up. Come on. over here. All right, there you go. And it does look a lot like the guy. It's got spider legs, it's got bullhorn looking dudes, and he has got those things in spades. So yeah, seems like a not unintentional connection. And for the record, we can see that he has the black robe going around him, which is the Zoan awakening symbol, typically speaking. So, okay. Now, so magic versus devil fruits. So let's just quickly address the obvious point that One Piece, has been diligent in that Oda has tried a lot, it seems, to like not have like magic in One Piece. The only hard magic that obviously does exist is devil fruits,
Golden Week.
which are there is also Golden Week. Personally, honestly, I give Oda a little bit of slack there. Like, Golden Week is obviously supposed to be hypnosis. Do her powers make any actual sense? No, but like, whatever. I give him some wiggle room.
But Nate, you miss out on chapter -1.
Oh yeah?
With Romance Dawn version 2, where Luffy fights a witch.
I know about the fucking witch man who shoots fireballs. I know that guy.
Yeah, and
but that's
rides
not
a
canon.
rides a broom.
He rides a broom and he flies,
what
yes.
I think is Oda like made that, and like his editor was like, "No, man, you've got too many magic systems in play from like the first chapter.
Yeah,
you're spelling things out too much with this Peace Main and rogue pirate thing.
Yeah,
like,
that probably wasn't necessary.
Simplify it, be more subtle. But that, like, to me, I think that you could have a argument that devil fruits have an origin, right? So
Sure.
if
There's going to be some bullshit science explanation for it eventually, of some kind. Even if, like, the will of mankind collectively, blah, blah, blah. It's magic,
like,
but whatever. It's like a quantified
I
form.
think everything does boil down to hockey in One Piece, because everyone who wins fights aren't the strongest. It's whoever has the biggest will, and that's what hockey means, the strongest willpower.
Right.
So, like, I feel
hockey
like...
sucks.
like, put aside hockey as a system, like
Uh-huh.
armament hockey and the ways you can channel your, like, hockey, like, spirit. I just mean, like, hockey as, like,
It's willpower, it's
the
your
fuel.
stick-to-itiveness.
The fuel for all the powers.
Sure.
Like, I feel like devil fruits are fueled by hockey to an extent.
Well, like, the explanation we've already gotten for hockey, or for devil fruits, it hasn't been confirmed, but it's the best we got. It's mankind's collective desire. Yeah, so will.
So I think that, like, hockey, if it's strong and concentrated enough, it can, like, actualize concepts into actual powers. And I feel like whatever technology or magic the Ancient Kingdom had, were able to, like, actualize the collective dreams of people, and, you know, just hand them out in the form of fruits. So, like, they
Something
could grant
like that,
people's dreams. Whether it's magic or technology or whatever, I think that they did something like that, and that's why, you know, because, like, you know, the Ancient Kingdom people, like, the D's are called devils numerous times. Like, I don't think D stands for devil, but I think there's definitely a link. I think the devil fruits come from the Ancient Kingdom.
Okay,
so
but
it would make sense to me if Emu has, like, access to whatever they use to make the devil fruits and just grants it more directly.
So basically, via the same mechanism, you're thinking, is that Emu can grant basically the same kind of, like, devil fruit magic powers that, like, a devil fruit grants, and just does it individually or something using the same mechanism.
That's why I think, because, like, this isn't just a zone transformation. He's also teleporting. He's exploding someone's head. He's healing. Like, he's doing super healing. He's doing a lot of stuff.
Okay, well, let's theorize for a moment. Let's say, because he sure looks like he is a devil fruit user in many ways, and maybe there'll be more to it. But right now, like, he clearly appears to be some sort of mythical Zoan, maybe through some, you know, Emu granted ability or something. But right now, that ability appears to be there. His shroud or whatever looks a lot like what Kaku and Lucci had for their awakenings. And he is using a bunch of bizarre magic powers. His, like, eye blasts, no idea what that is. He's just doing it and blowing people up. And the magic circle, to me, I mean, okay, if magic, quote unquote magic, doesn't exist exactly in One Piece, then like we've really begun to bend what magic isn't then, because magic circles where you summon a dude is pretty much as magical as it gets, and that's fine. I mean, my theory, my running theory, is that no, he really just has like a demon devil fruit that gives him like some demon powers, and it's like the best one because I don't know, they saved the best super magic devil fruits for their strongest guys, and they've, you know, been able to search for them for a long time. Now that definitely might not be true. We are at the point of the story where Emu exists. Something weird is going on with Eam, and it's absolutely possible there's like a higher tier. We're getting at the like, where did devil fruits come from, and like other things could come in the same kind of way.
If it was a devil fruit, is there any reason to have the like Marines not look?
Well, I mean, I guess.
Like, I feel like they want to keep this secret. Like, this is sensitive information.
Yeah,
they are devils, like literally.
I mean, okay, the fact that they're like that should be addressed as well. These guys are like literally devils. Basically, he is a yokai, basically, of some kind, which is a demon. And no devil fruit has been like that on the nose as to them being. And again, maybe it's like an extension of Eam's power or something. But yeah, this is getting very deliberate, and the fact that they don't want people to watch, it could mean one of two things. One, it might just mean that they do not want anyone to know how strong they really are, and that they're just trying to protect their, like, the secrecy of their power level. But that would probably not the case.
I mean,
more
if
likely,
anything, that would like have more obedience to the world government, right?
Yeah, potentially, that's true. And that's why the second reason being that there is something secret about this power that they do not want people to know, and that's why they tell everyone, you know, you're literally not allowed to look, or like we'll kill you, as they do here. So and why let only some watch? Well, again, I'm sure that that's because, like, when you're a high-ranked Marine, Vice Admiral or above, like, they just have to trust some level of their Marines.
Yeah, there has to be some level of helper which they'll let, like, look.
Yeah. That's why they kill
I also
dudes.
like the other thing which I'll put, like, just like.
How would 4 kids approach this? That's a great question.
Oh my god! Just censor his like words.
Send him to Shadow
like
Realm.
they changed the pentagram into like septagram or something.
Yeah.
So like just the final thing which I'll layer on as evidence is that this is from next chapter, but a character is like, it's gotta be a devil, like, if it's not technology, it's gotta be a devil fruit power. And whenever a character speculates like that, they're wrong. Like,
are they
like
really? Are they? Is that
usually
what do you
usually
base
their
that on?
assumptions.
Can you give me
wrong.
just one example where you feel that
It's
ranks
just
true?
a trope where like people are like, it's gotta be this, right? Like I can't, like, off the top of my head.
And they're usually right.
But, like,
that's usually the author trying to guide the audience, I feel.
really, I usually think that if they put it in a questioning, like, unsure thing, it's actually like the characters being a stand-in for the audience.
There have been some times like that, but when there appears to be a mystery and the characters look like they're clarifying something. I mean, it's like where people these days
could go either way.
It could go either way, but like people these days post like Nika and stuff, they look back at like Rob Lucci's explanation of like how Gear Second works, and they're like, oh, that was an obvious red herring. That obviously, like, what? No, you were really supposed to just listen and be like, okay, I mean, if that, I guess so. Even though like Luffy's enemy is the one saying that, he has no special knowledge of what's going on. You're just supposed to believe the guy.
That's more of like an explanation, like a long form explanation. But like when it's just like a one-off like exclamation, like, could it be X, like in Japanese, like, could it be that? Like, usually they're like, it's a bit less accurate. But when it's like a full-on like explanation, like,
I do feel, because we are in such crazy speculation territory, I would again put down some fat honor on this turning out to be a basically straightforward, although obviously like special mythical Zoan devil fruit, as opposed to
I could go either way with this.
Yeah, okay. Oh, hey, I'm just saying, I would put honor down, people, and Feeso, coward that he is not willing to meet
Hey,
me honor for honor.
Look, we've already got. You're already gonna lose the
Bonnie
friggin'
is the little
Bonnie
girl.
thing, yeah.
No, I will be vindicated legally
Like-
and morally. All right, let's chug along, shall we?
I love how his stick enlarges, by the way, along with him.
Classic One Piece logic. You gotta have a big stick. This guy really is the Teddy Roosevelt of the One Piece world. It was somebody subbed. Let me just pull this thing up. Who was it? Hang on, have to refresh my page. It was Anki Ao. Hey, thank you, Baxter.
Thank you, Baxter.
And Kiss My Toes for 2 months. Wait.
Thank you,
Oh,
Baxter.
there it goes.
Easy money!
Says devil fruits are cooler than magic. And I basically agree. Okay, let me fix this again. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Aniki. Ow, yes, thank you. Okay, what is that thing? Look out. They're blasting. They're shooting stuff. It's Kizaru. Oh my god, he's back. Okay, here he comes. He's trying to kill everybody with his devil beams. But here comes Nika with the left hook, baby. Okay, so, somewhat interestingly, Kizaru is like, haven't you reached your limit with that form yet?
He's like, bruh, aren't you tired?
And I mean, this is interesting, because, like, it's, this is one of those things that I roll my eyes, because it's, like, unquantifiable, like, stamina stuff. I'm sure Luffy will have Nika energy just as long as he needs to, for whatever the plot dictates, and not a moment longer. So
I don't mind that, but like, can you sense that? Like, does observation allow you to sense your opponent's stamina?
Yeah, I mean, why is Kizaru so confident about that right now? Because up to this point, Luffy, he just went. He was fighting him in gear 4th a little while ago, as the fight broke out. I think Luffy wasn't really like, yeah. They were all doing just fine. Like, the barrier was up, and then Kizaru entered, and then Luffy just instantly went to fight him. He was perfectly rested at that point, and then gear 4th for a little bit, doing some Snake Man stuff, and then he got blasted away, seemed to go Nika, hit the laser barrier or whatever, took a little damage from that, and then came right back as Nika and was, like, fighting Kizaru again. So, like, I'm a little surprised for Kizaru to be like, aren't you done yet? Has he really been gear 5th for that long? Has he been awakened for that long? It didn't really seem like it. He's done, like, I don't know, a chapter or two's worth of stuff in Nika form, I think, right? I don't know. Anyway, whatever. It's just that, like, does awakening tire you out super duper fast or not?
It could just be like a typical thing, like awakenings only last like 15 minutes.
But we're just making that up, yeah, which is
I
fine,
know.
but I'm just saying. Okay, anyway, you're Frankie here, going strong. There he goes. Okay, Frankie is counting on Luffy. And here comes fight stuff. So Kizaru's shooting laser blasts, Luffy dodging, spinning, and bam, white star gun, clocking him right in the dome with a couple of silly old white stars. So
Japanese for the kana reading is just star gun, but the kanji included white.
Indeed. So there you go. So we've got like the goopy head effect or whatever, like ink effect as Luffy slams into Kizaru's head.
That's his hair stretching on the other side.
Right. So, thin layer bros, you have been vindicated once again.
He's rubberized his head, so he's pushing into his head.
Indeed.
The black stuff is his hair on the other side.
Which, like, makes it seem, when you rubberize, wouldn't it deal, like, less damage to rubberize? I mean, we're back to the Kaido debate. I don't actually understand exactly the logic of, like, is he dealing more damage than if he didn't?
Nate, when he, like, lets go and he retracts his fist, the whiplash of the reversion back.
I guess.
What actually knocks you out.
Something like that. But Kizaru, okay. We can infer
by the way,
that Kizaru
Viz changed this line to "I'm seeing stars," which is a fun line, but it's not what he says.
Oh, and that was Viz's little editorial editorial modification.
It's a cute line.
It's a cute line, yeah. Not too bad. Not too bad. Now I'm really at my limit. Okay, so there's Luffy, gone full old man mode, and then Nika, the best character in all of One Piece. Okay, so down goes Luffy. Blasted Kizaru away. I'm pretty sure anyway. And here comes Spider-Man looking up at him and wanting to kill them all. So Luffy, fallen. The West, status, totally fallen. Luffy status, dead for all time. Spider-Man status, winning all day. And then, okay, here we go. So
This is the Spider-Man
joke.
2 I want to play, Nate. Not the PS5 game. This is the Spider-Man 2 for me.
Oh, okay, good. And so here's Frankie, looking like the main character right now, which, as we all know, he is. This is the year of Frankie. And Atlas is fine. Sanji has Bonnie. And then Saint Saturn is here talking to Vegapunk. Okay, in the flesh, here's Saint Saturn. You have managed to cling onto life, Vegapunk. I have given the order, and there goes Bonnie. Erase his individuality. So it sounds like she's having a memory right now.
Yeah,
Erases
because she's
he's the
full
science
of
guy.
Kuma's memories.
Yeah, she went to the memory. She experienced everything. Make sure no trace of him remains. But if we do that, Kuma... Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and she stabs Saint Saturn. Ooh. And by the way, and before I comment on this, I did want to say that I was thinking back to our helpful narrator who was saying, like, this will be le day where the incident happens. There will be an unbelievable... I mean, this is going to make Rocky Port look like nothing by comparison. There's going to be
impossible, like...
I know, I'm exaggerating, but there's going to be an incident of insane proportions that's going to happen. And I was thinking that, like, for example... If what's his face here, Vegapunk dying would be a big deal, but you know what would be even a bigger deal if like a Goro say died or something like that, which I think definitely could happen. Something, or even if he was just like beaten to a pulp. Imagine there's news someone beat a Gorosei to a pulp. Maybe it'll be Luffy, maybe it'll be Vegapunk. I don't know, but like something could happen that did that. I think that would qualify as like an earth-shattering incident. What do you think? There's any chance of Saturn here going down for the count in this arc?
No, I really have no idea. I feel like it could go either way, but Luffy's a bit tuckered out at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if he'll get a second wind. I feel like it could be multiple things. Like this was the day where like I don't know actually. I mean, actually
what
am
if
really unsure.
What if best actual main character of One Piece, Blackbeard, shows up and pulls a Marineford 2 and murders a Gorosei and steals that fruit? Oh, exactly what Ranos was saying. I said it first. That would be totally
That'd actually
sick.
be wild.
We know that Blackbeards are on their way right now. How dope! Oh my god! I'm fully on board. I want that to happen. I mean, maybe Blackbeard could do something good on screen again for once.
Well, we
That
know
would be
Blackbeard
great.
isn't here. It will be Shiryu and what's her face?
Well, maybe Warpman could
Katarina
like warp
Devon.
Blackbeard here quickly or something to do that. Or
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe that could happen. I'm sure the guy has like short range warps, but maybe they can string them together or something. I don't know. Kizaru has a higher chance of dying than Saturn here.
Get the string
Maybe.
theory for...
Maybe. Why wouldn't Blackbeard be? I mean, when we last saw Blackbeard, he was
Blackbeard
Law.
was with
He fought Law,
Law, yeah.
and beat his ass.
and that was happening contemporary with this.
Yeah. So it would be unlikely. I mean, I guess he's had a day. Is a day enough time? I mean, they're not like that far apart from each other, I guess. But it's a little unlikely. But some.
Well, no,
Blackbeards
they're
on
like
the
at
way.
least like a week or two away, because like due to the sailing time from like the end of Wano and Reverie to when they're like, oh, 2 weeks ago during the Reverie, like they say that during the Sabo like recap stuff. So we have to assume the Straw Hats were sailing for about a week or two.
Well, but
Wano.
like the kid fight, the Law fight, and the Egghead
Yeah, that was
stuff.
happening like the day before, or like the day of. Egghead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if they really gunned it in some way, it would theoretically be possible.
Yeah, I think the warp fruits, like I think that could be possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like just trying to account for the Blackbeard pirates we don't see.
Right.
I think Shiryu is in the Garp fight.
Yes, he was.
Katarina Devon is definitely not accounted for in either fight. I forgot who the other one was.
Yeah, which means that she
Who
could
is
be anyone at
accounted
any
for.
time in the entire story.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Okay, now, so Bonnie stabs this guy, and okay, not to spoil the things that happen next chapter, but like, unsurprisingly, this does not kill the man, and I can't say that I I ever thought this was going to be the decisive blow that takes him out. So
Yeah, he looks
nice
so
try.
cold and confident there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. He'd explode her head if he was that concerned about it.
you know, speaking of Rocky Port,
Yeah.
when they first mentioned Egghead Port, after I feel that they renamed Rocky Port to Egghead after in Kobe's honor.
I
when
think
it
they
was first
should.
mentioned.
Oh yeah, that would make this whole thing make sense.
Nah.
Okay, so I mean, there's not that much more to say right now. I mean,
now we know that Rocky Port is on Hachinosu.
yes,
so,
we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess that pretty much wraps up this chapter. Yeah, fuck it. We're pretty
Well,
much
is it
done.
Goda or Haku?
That's the question. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to do the whole rigmarole right now. Maybe we'll do that at the end. But let's check the vote right now, just for fun, shall we? Stack the deck, shall we? 61% Goda, 39% Hakta for this chapter. Let's see who's voting. So Based is going hard on Goda this chapter, and Blanca is repping the Hakta individuals. So Nika showed its Hakta. It's a strong case, but. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin spamming. All right, let's just play the song. Just spam the chat. All right, just spam the chat. Is it Goda or is it Hakta? Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna do a second bet right afterward. Begin right now. Goda, Hakta, Goda, Hakta, Goda, Hakta, Goda, Hakta.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Goda, Hakta, Goda, Hakta. All right, I'm seeing a lot of Goda. Easy Goda, pussy pop too hard. All right, that's enough voting. The vote shall be decided. That's an easy Goda right there. All right, easy Goda chapter. All right,
Thank you, Baxter.
It was a Goda chapter. All right, simple as. All right,
Intro.
not too bad. Not too bad. Yes, Nika exists. That is a massive blow, no doubt about it. But we'll cope as best we can. All right, nicely done, chapter 1094. And let's check in one more time. Based, nicely done. And my condolences to your family, Ambassador Blanca. Rest in peace, you 23 brave souls. Good luck out there. Good luck feeding yourselves and your families. Okay, so let's begin the next prediction right away. Why even bother fucking around? Let's just go to the next chapter immediately. One sec. Come on, scroll up. All right, 1095. Is it Goda or is it Hakta? 1095, here we go. And begin. A new round of voting shall begin right now. Okay, Godas and Haktas. Let them know. Okay. The Jika awakening is happening any day now, no doubt about it. Okay, all right, so let's get right to it. So chapter 1095, most recent chapter, a world where you're better off dead. Truly, that's the world where Goda wins the vote. And we've got Buggy chasing a squirrel monkey who swiped his trademark nose. I guess Buggy is a complicated man. You know, he doesn't like his nose. He doesn't like it to be mocked, but it is his nose, I guess. And he is nothing if not a man of greed. So he will not let you
sensitive
change.
about it, but you know. I mean,
Is
maybe
he
he just
proud of
wants
it?
to know.
He's not exactly proud of it. It's just you gotta
It's
defend
on
what you
his
got.
flag. He must be proud of it, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. It is a distinguishing characteristic. That's true. Okay. Excuse me. Why does Buggy look like that? Because Hakta took the wheel for drawing this chapter.
It's the fourth hidden race, the big nose race,
Indeed.
the red nose race.
I'm not following.
You know, there's
like Rudolph?
or-
Like Santa Claus?
yeah.
Okay,
It
sounds
could
good
be.
to me. All right, TCB scans.
Thank you, Baxter.
Baxters, for your fine work once again. Oh, I meant why is he a clown? Ranos, have you read the indie manga, small indie manga known as One Piece? You might want to look it up sometime. It might clarify some of these questions for
'Cause
you.
every single pirate crew needs a gimmick.
Well, of course. Without a gimmick, what's even the point? You end up with a... Well, like, not to insult the man, but, like, look at Yorkie from, like, Bug's crew, from Brooks' crew. Yorkie, like, has no gimmick,
Yeah,
and it
it's so
killed him.
generic.
That's why he's dead.
Well, they're the musician pirates, right?
Well,
Like, they're
I
the
mean,
rum
a little
barker.
bit, but that theming wasn't like
Yeah,
super strong, you know.
the weakest gimmick in the series.
You know who my favorite crew is in all of One Piece? It's that one crew that the Straw Hats encounter right after leaving Skypiea, and they land on the ocean and they're sailing, and they encounter that ship that it's been stripped of its sails and its flag, and they just sit
Yeah,
a
they're like
bunch
the
of
frog
generic
pirates or
guys
something.
sitting around doing nothing. And then
I think all their best members were like taken.
oh, I guess that, you know what? Maybe their personality was taken too. That's possible.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're so boring. Yes.
The Straw Hat gimmicks are the main characters.
Yeah, that's a pretty good gimmick, honestly. And that they're Nikas. They're Nikas to the core. Down to the last.
They're all outcasts and freaks. I guess.
Indeed. Okay, Oda, he says, recently I found myself tearing up whenever I watch an episode of the One Piece anime. He's like, why did Hack to animate this? Oh, no, I'm crying. I've really nailed the wondrous and fun aspects of Wano. They've nailed. I'm so grateful for their fantastic production. Oda Eiichiro. Have we, I'm just curious, now that like a few weeks have passed, can we all go back to pretending that the live action doesn't exist? Because, like, I've been there the whole time. I feel like Oda's ready to be there again. We can all, like, forget about it now, right? We can just do the thing of never mentioning it ever.
Season 2 is coming.
Yeah, in, like, a year or two? But in between, like, we've got the real story to worry about, you know? I just feel that we're back to, like...
I don't mind. I compartmentalize with all these things. Like,
not me.
I can be excited for one. I can not I don't really care about the One Piece games at the moment. So like,
sure,
you know, like these things, they come out, they dominate the conversation for a bit, and then they go.
Yeah. But me, I don't know. I guess because I'm like over here, I've got my problems with One Piece, but I've got like a 10-course meal, and it all is designed to work, and it's like the real thing. And on the other side, like someone dropped like a slice of cake in the dirt, and they scraped it back up, and they put it on a plate, and they put it next to me, and they're like, enjoy this alongside your meal. I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want that. I just want the real thing. I want the nutritious good thing. I'm a turbo autist is what I'm trying to say, and I wear it with pride. Okay, anyway, moving on. Now, okay, we all know that the live action is Oda's true vision that was planned since the elevator, since pre-Chapter 1, since Monster, since Romance.
I'm not gonna lie, there are some elements of the live action series I think are an improvement.
An improvement over One Piece, he said.
I'm
utterly mind broken.
Okay. So
My
like,
God.
the way I'll put it is like some plot elements are a bit more efficient.
Like Garp.
I really
Man, we needed more Garp.
No, I don't
thing.
really like that.
Yeah.
But I do think that like putting like the other like staff members of the mansion like be the Black Cat pirates, I think that's pretty cool. I think setting most of that fight in the mansion is a way more unique setting than like on the hill. So, like, it's the small things.
Hey, the hill is iconic. We love the hill. We stand the hill in this household, okay? I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
With adaptations. Like, whenever, like, a book I like gets adapted into a movie, like, even if I like the movie more and I think, like, you know, the medium change doesn't really help, I'm still, like, fascinated by, like, oh, they changed that because of that, or, oh, maybe, like, they reconsidered whether this works.
Sure, I mean, as always, I'll say cosplay is fun and just doing like a cosplay thing. But when I start to get steamed is when I feel too much oxygen being pulled away to the sideshow. And I feel that Oda has done it himself. I feel that Oda's attention has been pulled too much to this other nonsense. Plus, fucking film red and all that stuff. Jesus Christ, compromising the manga and more than likely shifting around some events of the story to I mean, it's just insane. It's insane to me, but at least it did remind Oda that Kuro exists, and so he put him on a cover.
Comments are hilarious.
These comments
be
are
like,
trash.
I think 4Kids improved something. 4Kids did improve something.
You know what?
Let me just think of one.
The iconic moment of the boot gun is way more memorable than just Helmeppo pointing a gun at Kobe's head. But, you know, but it's still not, it's just like the live action. It's just not what One Piece is. Like, I look at the live action, I'm like, this just literally isn't One Piece. It is like, it is cosplay, which is fine, but I'd never look at a guy cosplaying like Madoka from fucking, you know, Puella Magica Madoka and be like, there she is, there. I'd be like, no, that's like someone dressed up in a
Hey,
costume.
I can say quotes from 4Kids are a lot more memorable than some of the manga ones.
Let's see, what do we
You
got?
can't pay the cash, you're out with the trash.
Poison suction cups. I can't remember any lines, but I do love the fact that the edit, they didn't even remove all the shots of the clearly spiky suction cups. I was watching as a kid, was just like, this is just confusing. I clearly saw spikes, and now they're suction cups. What's going on here?
As a kid, I never was able to watch One Piece. I was able to watch the opening rap, and that's about it. Like, I never got into it until the Funimation dub came out in, like, 2008.
You missed out. You missed out on Kino. The pirate rap is pretty good, it must be said. It is iconic, the pirate rap. So there can be some good things from deeply compromised productions. It is true. But ban them all, make them illegal, send them to jail. That's what I say. All right. Okay, so Saint Saturn has landed. The Marines are running away. They're trying not to look. Okay, don't look back or you'll die. All right, there it is. They've seen portraits. There's lots of lightning. This guy is a power scaler hardcore. Okay, he's like, oh, this must be indicate that there's a level 5 Doriki Conqueror's Haki going on here. He's above even the Celestial Dragons, and one of them can boss around an admiral like it is nothing. Why would someone so far up on the divine hierarchy come all the way down here from Mary Geos? Good question, my man. All right, so there he is, shooting lightning and stuff. So they're really, like, referencing the lightning. The lightning is, like, no joke. It has been, possibly for the first time in the series, like, actually commented on by the characters. They're like, damn, there's a lot of hockey lightning going on here. That's crazy. Is it hockey lightning, though? I guess I'm just curious now. Is Saturn shooting hockey lightning, or is it, I guess it could just be magic, actually, now that we have established magic is happening. Could be part of the magic circle or something. I don't know. Any thoughts on that?
It could just be like the summon, like aftermath of the summoning circle.
I guess, man. But I don't know. He seems like pretty done with that for a while now. I don't know. Okay, is it possible that he's referring to like diegetic hockey lightning? Is that possible, or must it be like magic?
Okay, the question is, like, do we think that non-hockey users can observe hockey? Because, like, before the time skip, we never saw hockey,
right?
Like, but after the time skip,
the
everyone
rules have changed.
Like, has
the rules have
hardening
definitely
and
changed. Yeah, I mean,
using it.
I think that the rules have changed. Plus, I mean, the rules from hockey changed from day one. Hockey was just invisible, and now that's just different because.
Well, now it's invisible again with the introduction of Rio, and then like
it sure is.
It's like, oh yeah, they were just using more advanced.
Captain Chaos.
The way I've always tried to rationalize it in my head is like Rio like allows you to like expand hockey like beyond your body.
Yeah.
And that can be invisible. Right?
Sure.
So that's what Rayleigh demonstrated. But like what Luffy and Co do like at the beginning of the time skip is like they concentrate hockey in a certain point of their body.
I don't think that's actually what's going on.
At a certain point. That's what I like to believe. And that's what makes it visible.
Like, I guess I'll just clarify again my thought. I think that no, hockey is invisible. It's just depicted that way for our benefit as the audience.
But
so
then, like, why would he like? No, because you've got stuff like Black Fist Zeph, right? I mean, no, Black Fist Zephyr.
That's
Red,
you're
where they like.
Oh God, you're right. It is possible that is an abandoned plot line, but no, I mean they really do call him like Black Fist or Zephyr, Zeto, whatever. Yeah. Oh God, I don't know. Also, he is non-canon. Well, he's non-canon, but Oda came up with him though. Like he as a character does exist in One Piece.
I want to like assume that like a version of Zephyr trained all those Marines in that color spread we got. but like Canon Zephyr just like died in that attack by the future warlord.
Something like that. Oh, wait, and also there's guys like Virgo who clearly just melanated up and are known for like their
but also like Black,
God
like
damn it.
Sanji. No, actually Sanji.
No, Sanji
got
was that before
nickname
hockey. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh God, I don't actually know the answer to this question. How do I not know the answer to this question? It must be visible. It must be. But just
I always thought Elephant Gun
kinds?
was because it's big and black, and like it like his hands are like
all my
like an
favorite
elephant.
things.
But I'm not sure. Honestly, I've always assumed that like hardening is slightly different from like
Oh God,
your run of the mill.
I don't know. I have no idea what the answer to this question is. You know
Oh,
what?
God.
Let's not even try to answer it anymore. Another day.
Yeah.
Let's come back to
Moving
this
on.
question. Okay. All right. Moving on. So here comes Spider-Man and Bonnie. You crossed the line. Okay, they're attacking. You've stabbed an elder. That's not good. They've been assaulted. Okay, they're important. Marines take aim. So you've got a big gunman. You've got this guy. Is that Doberman or I forget that guy's name. And this guy with like a boomerang head kind of thing going on. Don't know exactly what that's about, but he's like Cutman from Mega Man. I wonder if he's a reference to that. Or wait, who else does that? There are other people who have boomerangs on their head and they throw it. Who am I thinking
He is
of?
like Cutman from Mega. No, it's Chi-Chi from Dragon Ball.
Oh, that's exactly who it's Chi-Chi. Yeah, you're right. That's a funny reference. Presumably that's what it is. Okay, Bonnie, she's squirming.
Oh, it's also what's his face? Doesn't Django get his like thing wedged in there at some point?
Does Django get the thing on top of his head?
So. I thought
Ouch.
someone in that arc gets the thing like wedged in there.
I think you're right. I don't remember offhand. Okay, so stop squirming, you pathetic maggots. If I did not wish to be stabbed, I simply would have dodged. So he for some reason decides not to explode her head. Maybe she has too many
Everyone
Dory
has
keys.
a soft spot for Bonnie. Everyone
takes
Kizaru
it
is
real
like,
easy on Bonnie. Yeah.
Don't make me do this.
Well, she is
Like,
very
everyone
kawaii.
is like that.
She people feel bad for her. Her dad got all janked up. They're trying to be nice to her. But this probably hasn't been clarified specifically. But like, is Bonnie Kuma's biological daughter? Because this is becoming plot relevant. Okay, it has not been clarified, and I would bet the answer is no. But
yeah,
we'll
I
see.
think it's okay. From the end of the chapter,
yeah,
it's kind of possible now that we've got like a potential. We'll see.
yeah,
But
it's possible.
I also think it's very possible because Oda loves to do adopted family.
He sure does. He sure does.
Yeah.
But also, like, genes are actually like directly relevant. So I mean, she'll probably either be or not be, depending on how important this like Buccaneer lore is. Which...
Well, like they never made Bonnie a slave, right? They're never like, oh, Bonnie was born to be a slave.
Well, I guess Kuma was just already a
Buccaneer
king by that point or something, since we see him with his little girl.
But they're like, okay, as soon as they can get him back, they're like, okay, you'll be the slave again.
All right. Well, so he decides not to explode her head, but he squeezes her and hurts her, I guess. And here comes Sanji, also getting blasted by, I guess it's just the eye beams or something. Not really clear.
No, I kind of feel like he's got an invisible wall or something, and Sanji just runs into it. Because later on they talk about being pinned down.
Yeah.
So...
And I'm wondering about that. I was wondering if like I missed.
Now, that's another thing which makes me think, oh, this has to be more than a devil fruit, right? He's like literally manipulating.
He has many powers. Yeah, that's definitely true. I think my theory would go along with like we're entering sort of a new tier of devil fruits that are like, I guess probably Nika's like up there with them, but they're like just like busted. They've just got like stupid powers. In this case, fucking eye beams, big spider devil man, maybe magic circle powers, and can regenerate also, because as we see right here, he pulls the sword out of his chest and boom, instantly heals. Although I was trying to think if there were other people that have healed. There is Marco. Marco does have the ability to heal himself from wounds. So I guess it has been, and that is a mythical devil fruit. So that's something, I guess. As to what happened exactly here, I do not know, and it does seem a little bit unclear. Gan, it says up there. I don't know. I don't know. Wait a minute. I almost forgot. Very important moment here. Okay, guys, I think this is a chapter 1 moment type situation happening here. Let me see. Can we please? And right there. Okay, we need to pull up the evidence. Right here. Examine. Huh? Interesting. Wait, I'm linking this to Feeso also.
That's hilarious. I see.
Oh, you can see it. Okay, good. Guys, this is chapter 1 right now. Okay. Oh, my blue leg Sika is about to awaken. Oh God, excuse me. It's using up all my life force though.
That signature coughing.
It's yeah, exactly. It's guys, I've got a light summer cold. I'll be dead in mere minutes.
Sick boy.
the Sika boy. Yeah, this is a certified Sika moment right here. You know, I laugh at these moments not because like a lot of things about Nika I think are dumb. The like silhouettes and stuff they're okay, they're fine. I do roll my eyes about like, oh, he fucking planned in Skype. Okay, whatever, that's fine. But I mostly just love mocking people that buy that shit credulously. Like there's that moment of Brooke just like jumping up doing it's in like Chabon Archipelago or something when he just does like a pose with like a silhouette. And why isn't that a reference to Nika? He was in a silhouette in a similar pose, you guys. Yeah. Think about it.
Oda can plan stuff out without having the details be fleshed out and like looking exactly like One Piece is a series
it's Oda's usage of retroactive foreshadowing is too powerful for the minds of many readers, and they think that it was they don't understand what's going on.
the way like things are written, people are bound to like reread what they have written.
No doubt.
No doubt. Whenever like a new novel comes out in a series, like the author definitely rereads the previous novels to like get a sense for their continuity and stuff again, get back in the characters' heads. Like I can't see a world where Oda doesn't retroactively try and fit things in. I'm not saying he doesn't have like, you know, the general gist of things planned out, but I think a lot of the imagery and stuff, similarities, a lot of the time it is just, you know, it's retroactive continuity, or it's
you could call it synchronicity.
It's 1,000 chapters, right?
Yeah,
like, he's done almost everything you can at this point.
Indeed. So and by the way, Ugly-Headed Bozo, you said Dak did a video on that. I think I don't know who you're talking about, but link that in the chat if there's somebody who made, an interesting video about. I've wanted to make a video about retroactive foreshadowing for some time, which would basically be like the Nika video, but I'm busy with other shit.
It's hard to tell what is retroactive and what isn't.
It can be a challenge for sure, and I know people get annoyed with me because people think that I spend too much time like worried about like what was planned or not. But what I'm really responding to is not Oda; it is the community that is so credulous.
But like Nate, don't you ever feel like it's like your enjoyment should be devoid of what people are saying about it?
I absolutely do, unfortunately. And I agree. The best way to consume is to just totally block them out and pay no attention. Unfortunately, that is I live in a society, and therefore it is a little bit unavoidable that there be some crossover. So I feel that all I can do is like try to promote what I think of as like healthy ways of like consuming the media. And you know, and having some credulity, not being fully credulous about all of that stuff, and having a little bit of like skepticism and you know, just rational thinking when you're consuming a story. And you're like, okay, I mean, like, so Oda is telling me that like Luffy ate the Nika fruit. Did he really plan that out since like chapter 1? I mean, that would be quite. It's been like 25 years. Did he? And like, wow, there's some like contradictions here in the lore here. I don't know about this one.
This is this is the idea which I think Oda had planned out.
How to ruin my own story in 20-some years. This is going to be good. Everyone's going to love this.
I think he planned out that he would always have a sun metaphor for freeing the world, and that there was an ancient figure who represents.
I think the sun metaphor came into being with sort of the Arlong pirates, and there was some.
Oh, I think it's from literal chapter 1 because it's Dawn Island, Romance Dawn, and all that. Then you know every single.
First of all, was that island? That island wasn't even called Dawn Island. I think until way later in the story.
But okay, it's still called Romance Dawn, right?
Okay, the story was called Romance Dawn. That's true. But that doesn't necessarily imply anything. Like, I don't think the world government
I think
existed.
I think maybe the sun metaphor. It's
You
whether
see,
you believe
walk it
D
back,
stands
Feeso.
for
Walk it
dawn.
back, baby. Take
Do you
that
think
shit
D
back.
stands for dawn? Because if it does,
It definitely could. It definitely could. The D's been there.
I think
you know?
it stands for like dawn in the way Luffy is saying like dawn pistol. Like I think it's
D-O-N.
dawn/dawn. Like I think it can be
Yeah, it
like
could be a
you know
pun or
the
something.
drum beat that represents the dawn coming.
And that's fine because the D is obviously lore dense. So like
Yeah.
that does
So
like, the
I
fact
think-
that yeah, that's fine.
The idea that the D ties to a new dawn for the world, ties to like some ancient figure. I think that was planned. I don't know if
possible.
like the
It's
idea
possible.
of awakenings and this transformation and like all this like you know the forms we're seeing now. I think
Definitely
Oda
was
probably
not
came up with
planned.
that later.
Yeah,
I think for sure that's later.
that is a fine read, and I even think that like the D was suspicious for a long time, sure, but the exact implications of it. I mean, I don't even know because I don't think things like the world government, the Void Century, all that stuff came into being like with Nico Robin and Alabasta in that part of the story.
Okay. So like, we're going to really deep dive into this. Have you got like the original designs for the Straw Hats you can pull up?
I'm sure I can. Just a moment. Let's see. Okay, I've got them here. I'm just pulling them up. One moment. Okay, this should do it. Okay, yeah, I got them on screen.
Okay, so like, Jinbei's there. Okay, so like the two who are missing from the crew, which we know now, are Frankie
Now
and Robin.
that's quote unquote Jinbei. It's not confirmed.
No,
Jinbei,
Jinbei
but...
isn't even.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that is Jinbei. Yeah, that is Jinbei.
Well, does it say Jinbei?
I thought it did. It says helmsman next to him.
Yes, it does say helmsman. I believe you're right, and he does look like a fish.
He is basically Jinbei. Look at him. He's a fishman, and also we know it's Jinbei because
he's smoking a cigar. Where's Jinbei's cigar? That's what I thought. Checkmate.
Well, Jinbei is actually introduced smoking that same pipe in the Fishman Island flashback.
Yeah, in the flashback. Retcon alert.
Okay, no. But we know it's Jinbei because when we first got this image, it was actually censored and Jinbei was erased.
Okay, well, what are you getting at? Let's say it's Jinbei. That's fine. What's
Yeah, okay. My point is for the initial crew which he planned out, the ones who which we know weren't a part of the initial plan was Frankie and Robin. I think, like in my heart of hearts, he was writing Arabasta and Baroque works and was like, wow, this Miss All Sunday is such an interesting character. I want to expand her.
Yeah, which is exactly
and
what he did
use
with
her
Vivi.
as a vehicle for the hit. So, like, by the time we get to Arabasta, we start to rehabilitate her character. She saves Luffy. She laughs at Crocodile.
Well, from the very beginning, Luffy says like that Robin like is actually not that bad. I think from their first interaction, they're like, oh, he's
Robin. Like, no, Luffy is really angry at Robin from their first interaction. Like, he like crushes her log pose and is like, I decide where the ship goes, and he's like really angry because
I might be misremembering which moment I'm thinking of. There's a moment where he says, whatever, it doesn't matter.
I think reintroducing Igaram, being like, oh, she didn't really kill anyone, and have the whole mystery backstory.
That smells of retooling a character there.
I think like that is the exact moment where like Oda started to think about there's going to be a future arc.
Yeah.
Where we're going to explore the Pluton more. We're going to explore the history of the world government, and Robin's going to they're going to have to save Robin.
Yeah.
And also around then is when the Mary starts getting trashed. So that's when we're going to get a new ship and a shipwright. I think around Arabasta is where Frankie and Robin were conceptualized.
Okay.
So basically my point is
by the way, contained in the existence of Robin and the Poneglyphs is like everything to do with what we now understand to be like the main plot of One Piece. Like the world government.
Although I'm sure there was a corrupt government has taken over, but I think the details of their censorship and the world nobles came later. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, those details definitely came later. The Tenryubito did not exist until Shabondi.
So, like...
Yeah.
I think, like, just looking at this image of the original Straw Hats, you can see, like, Oda had, like, broad strokes planned out for a lot of things, but he was also
I think you're giving the man a little too much credit here. I mean, it's fine. I'm sure many things were planned out, but, like, this is just a crew of dudes. Like...
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, like, he had broad strokes planned out, but, like, the details, how you get there, and, like, he was willing to improvise and let, like, the world and story, like, change as he was writing.
Yeah.
So, I think, like, huge chunks of the lore and backstory were never planned. They were just expanded on and developed based on what he thought was interesting.
Well, I don't even understand. I mean, sorry, not to you, but, like, people are like, oh, I'm being white-peeled. Guys, I don't disagree with anything that he just said. What is the argument here? I don't understand.
No, there's no argument. We're just discussing it.
But why is this being implied by Spiral Blues, that motherfucker, as if I'm black-pilling and you're white-pilling? First of all, he didn't even say anything that was like, Nika good, actually. You might feel that way, but, like, there was no argument about, okay, you know what? Not going to get into it. We move along. We move along immediately. Okay, back we go. Yeah, we're getting Nika pilled. That's true. All right, so
turning Kim White. That's exactly what happened with the Nika transformation.
That's what happened.
All right. That's why he says done.
Keep the pressure up. Get Vegapunk. Okay, so off they go, killing Vegapunk. Frankie, it's your time to save everyone. Wait. Okay, don't give it opening. Okay, just kill him. Kill him. That's the point. This guy with his many chins looks just like me for real. I love him. He's my favorite character. Okay, now here we go. So addressing the fraudulency accusations, we've got Saturn here saying it's unprecedented for you to be so slow in executing an order like this, Kizaru. To which he says, I apologize. I have no excuse. I need a second. I don't think I can move yet. And then we see Luffy is, like, falling down or whatever.
To be fair, he drew with friggin' Nika. I mean, that's not exactly, like, a fail, right?
Well, I mean, to draw, I mean, so it makes you wonder, like, did Kizaru just, like, he got hit one time, and he's, like, down and seems to be taking, you know, a while to recover. Now, he's not, like, unconscious. Luffy is unconscious.
Like, I need a minute kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then again, Luffy is unconscious because, you know, like, a drawback from his power, whereas, like, Kizaru was, like, forced into that state. Like...
Yeah.
So I think Luffy comes out of this looking better, but I don't think Kizaru looks bad by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree. Kizaru, and I guess, you know, Oda kind of needs to do this. He needs to make Luffy pretty darn powerful at this point, but I guess he still wants to add... I mean, Kizaru is clearly still stronger than Luffy, I feel. Kizaru, like, 1v1.
It shows that admirals are still nothing to sneeze at.
Well,
but
at
they're
least
not
the
something
good
which
admirals.
Luffy can't overcome.
Rokugyu is a joke, and he should be put out to pasture immediately.
You know, I still don't understand this.
He
was expecting to fight
red-haired Shanks from a million miles away. He pissed his pants, and he shat himself, and he ran away like a coward.
He didn't come there to, like, fight a Yonko crew single-handedly.
Well,
like, you know
maybe he should have, okay? Maybe he should have.
I think people are expecting a bit too much from him.
Oh, okay, look. It's all about how he reacted. If he had reacted and had been like, and he in an impressive way is like, I've detected another threat. It's too much for me right now. I will retreat. But no, he fell to his fucking knees. He cowered.
But he was like, I'm not here to pick a fight with you yet. He did say yet.
It's all about just the presentation. He looked so embarrassing in that moment. And we all know that he was thrown under the bus to just fluff up Shanks for his fucking movie that was coming.
The thing is, it's so unnecessary because, like, we get that big Shanks moment.
We get it in, like, 2 chapters later or whatever it was, which was, like, the real Shanks moment. Absolutely insane. But
if you're asking me, that kid moment is, like, a moment which was more planned, and then the Shanks showing up at Wano is we've got to promote Film Red kind of thing.
Yeah, I will still not forgive fucking Oda for just humiliating it. Look, if it took out Kid in one hit, I kind of get it. But to also take out Killer as just peripheral damage, Absolutely insane.
Well, Killer was
Insane.
trying to protect Kid. And
These
he got
guys just
clipped in
fought
the
Kaido and Big Mom together, and they just got just like bonus damage. Bonus damage
Look,
took out
mate,
Killer.
it's like rock, paper, scissors, okay? They can, scissors beats paper, but it's weak against rock.
I guess, man, it was an absolutely bonkers moment for me, but okay. I felt Speed Piece so hard there. Like, we do not have time to do anything with this. I guess Killer's dead. Again, if it was just Kid, I'd be like, okay, I sort of get it. It's only the fact that it just... AoE fucked up Killer doesn't even make sense. Why was he down? And like the rest of the crew, many of them were still up. It was specifically Killer. Okay, anyway, let's move along. I will never forgive him for that day.
I think Killer had to go down because he's
for like
loyal
plot
to
reasons,
Kid
because Oda doesn't want him to
hand over
fight
the
back.
poneglyph and say please go.
I just thought it was written like such shit. Like the power levels just did not make any sense. I don't care how fucking strong Shanks is. Just have him look... How about this? Maybe dedicate like one sword slash to Killer specifically. I don't know. He's a supernova. He fought the fucking Yonko. You could do that. You could give him that much, Oda. But he didn't. He fucking didn't do it. He didn't give a shit. Oh, it gets me steamed. That is not cool, man. and also, Ranos is right that Shanks will never be that powerful again. And that's the worst part. I agree. It was just to move the narrative along. I think you're absolutely right. Okay, Kid didn't get destroyed enough. No, you're right, Soko. You're right. He could have gotten more destroyed. I would have liked it better that way. Okay, so Kizaru is a little bit tuckered out right now. He's sleepy, okay, and he's going to get back up in a moment. Luffy, I guess I was going to say about this, in terms of, like, how, like, winded Luffy is, I don't know. He's breathing... He's down, but I'm trying to think of, like, will they get up at, like, about the same time? I guess it seems like this is like a Katakuri situation. Luffy will probably not get up as fast as Kizaru, who will get up.
Is it like the Gear 4th thing where it's like 10 minutes no haki? Or like, is it even worse?
Effectively, it seems something like that. Of course, the rules haven't been clarified exactly. Like, frankly, all of Luffy's, like, rules after he uses powers have like kind of always been stupid, I think.
Yeah.
At least the Gear 3rd one was like cute.
The shrinking of the Gear 3rd
that one I liked. Hilarious. I liked the Gear 3rd one. Yeah. The Gear 4th one can't use hockey for 10 minutes. Stupid. But the Gear 5th one is he goes like old man mode for some undetermined amount of time. And I don't know. I guess he'll be back up soon. Okay. Anyway. So now then, time to kill Monkey D. Luffy. But then here comes the main character of One Piece, Frankie, baby! Yeah! His right is looking so strong as he pummels his captain to death with his powerful fist. Nicely done. Holy shit, Frankie has just one-shot a Yonko single-handedly. This is the peak of the year of Frankie right here, no doubt about it. He's looking so good. So he pummels Luffy, and then he grabs him. Now, why did he not just grab him and push him out of the way? Longer. I don't know, but I think this deserves some. Can we get some YOFs in the chat, please? This is the peak right now. Okay, so
this is the year of Frankie.
The year of Frankie, that's right. So Saturn here is like, interesting. You're the kind of pirates who stick together. I mean, have you paid attention to this story at all, Saturn?
Well, I think he's thinking of Rocks because we know that he was at God Valley now. So.
Oh, right.
I think he's thinking about how the Rocks pirates turned on each other.
I mean, does this man have experience with exactly one pirate crew or what? I guess he doesn't personally interact with many.
That's true.
Okay, well, whatever. So he's just commenting that they're best friends and they love each other. So even the big shots in the world are after our captain's head. Good to know, says Frankie. Oh, whoops. Being the main character once again. Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay, Straw Hat Luffy. Jewelry Bonnie. Your involvement in this affair was certainly unforeseen. However, okay, the coasts are blockaded. It's unlikely you'll escape. Fate is gonna do its thing. We'll see what happens. Take a sip of my
Yeah,
drink.
he's like, oh, I'd like to see you guys escape from this. Like, almost like it's a foregone conclusion in his mind that Nika can't die here. Which is
Yeah,
a bit
I guess.
weird.
I mean, he knows that the Nika is the real power behind the throne here. Nika has a will of its own, as we all know. Ugh. Excuse me. All right, and now, of course, they do have a ship that can literally fly, so that might be helpful for escaping. We'll see. Okay, Vegapunk, your betrayal is a heavy blow, but thanks, and I'm going to kill you now. Okay, there you go. So,
Oh, wait, actually, I did want to talk about Fate.
Okay,
This is the
alright.
second time the Gorosei have mentioned Fate, because like when
They
Sabo
love
was
that shit.
on the island
yeah.
that got nuked, they're like, this isn't bad luck, this is his fate to like die. So like they seem to be very deterministic, whereas all our main characters are very like freedom, love.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, which is, I mean, it's just, I'll say it again. Call me controversial if you want, people. But I am not afraid to make broad sweeping judgments about what the point of One Piece is and derive my entire political philosophy from its pages, which is thus, freedom, generally, but not always, good. Authoritarianism, generally, but not always, bad. I'm saying it. I'm not afraid to. Freedom, generally good. That's...
It's interesting because like Oda like goes out of his way to be like, and then this pirate wreaked havoc because there was like it was complete anarchy.
Yeah.
Oh, but then there was complete tyranny under this absolute demagogue. Like it's very much like not too much of either.
You're just really not supposed to think about it that deeply. It's totally. I mean, it's a by the number shonen where
Extremes are bad.
The extremes are bad, and like the system itself, frankly, I mean, it's a little bit commented on, but it's run by evil people in One Piece, obviously the Tenryubito. But the Marines are getting reformed. That's going to happen. So like the police are gonna be good eventually, and they're kind of good, right? Like many of them are the good guys. Especially in early One Piece.
Like even like the revolutionaries of this world, like Sabo and stuff, they're like, our quarrel isn't with
No,
like,
we love the
kings
police.
and
We absolutely love them. They're
Our
important.
quarrel isn't even with like the world government. Our
Yeah.
quarrel is just with the Celestial Dragon.
That was one of the funniest lines I ever saw for the Revolutionary Army to be like pro world police. Doesn't actually make a ton of sense, but it is what it is. Because, again, this is a story for children, and they're not trying to program revolutionaries. They're trying to... The main point is that, like, just be, like, a nice guy. That's, like, the plot of One Piece.
Yeah.
Be a good dude and nice to people. That's the plot.
Like, in Japanese, like...
Sabo
Japanese
backs the
culture
blue
is
hard.
so, like... Japanese culture, like, is so, like, hierarchical and so,
Yeah, there's
like,
no way they could be, like,
conformist.
hierarchy bad, actually. There's no way
Yeah,
they
but
could
like,
have that.
but all their fantasy is always like, but you can be an individual. You can like have your own aspirations and dreams.
Yeah.
Within the system.
I mean, Luffy's
as
just
long as you're
broken
not
off.
hurting anyone.
All of One Piece is about just breaking off to like live your own style of life without like hurting other people. And
Well, it's not quite like let's destroy society. It's like let's reform.
Yeah,
it,
Luffy
but
just
not-
separates from society basically, and just
yeah,
does his
Luffy
own thing.
checks out. It's everyone else around Luffy who cares about the politics. Luffy, as long as he can do his own thing.
Indeed. All right, so Fate is. So my point about all that was that like Fate is like control, and Luffy is like freedom. So like, yeah, of course, he's not much of a Destiny guy. Some might argue this is why things like Nika and like Destiny Piece and like the Frozen Hat are actually not good things. That's interesting. Anyway, we'll worry about that in 5 years when One Piece ends, and we'll see if Hakta has come true. All right, Vegapunk. We're going to kill you. We're going to kill you real good. Tell me what hurts you so I can do it because I hate you, and I want you to die a lot. Okay, okay, here we go. Human nature is to blame. Why must people always be tempted by that which has been explicitly forbidden? Guys, I don't know if you heard this. Freedom, bad. Okay, don't be doing freedoms. Do what your authority figures tell you. Okay, all the time. That's the way to do it. Which is why you should go to patreon.com/bestguyever. Okay, it just makes sense.
Thank you, Baxter.
That's what you do. Okay. Okay. So all right. So here we go. Why isn't anybody doing anything as he squeezes Bonnie and explodes her organs hilariously?
The first thing I thought was like, Sanji, why aren't you doing anything?
Yeah, me too, me too. But this is specifically commented on. So something seems to be pinning them down. Unspecified magic powers, it seems like. If he isn't using technology, it must be some sort of devil fruit ability, and I believe that's Vegapunk saying that. It looks like it. Oh, no, Bonnie, or someone is anyway.
In the Japanese, it's specifically, if he's not using science, science, using science, saying science like that in English is weird.
So I'm going out there again. I feel that this moment, I understand that there theoretically are more than one way to take it. I feel that this is one of those clarification things. They're like, if it isn't technology, it's a devil fruit, and we're supposed to...
And I think this is a classic false assumption by a character.
Classic. A classic, you say.
Classic.
And yet you can't name one single other example? Interesting.
Hey, this was a very last-minute invite, mate.
Didn't have time to put together facts and figures and, get a whole plan together.
Next time you invite me, I'll have, like, a week in advance, and I'll prep all my, like... evidence, and we can debate it.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
I'm sure that there, like, in my head, I feel like I've seen this a million times, but off the top of my head, I just can't.
Oh, and Tesla Nova says, wait. When Jinbei assumed Katakuri was a Logia. Oh, yeah, as we all know, that was an insane thing to assume, okay? That was a totally stupid, wrong-handed idea. Not at all peak hacked moment right there. Okay, not at all.
I'm just reading the chat. Hi, Damon, and also to Corflon. I work as the editor on TCB, so like I edit the script and make sure it's all consistent and
indeed
check things with translators and make sure everything's flows well and stuff.
Seb here, you're so right. No, the thing about was what you didn't understand about that was Jinbei making an inference. So of course it was wrong. That's why, because it was Jinbei. Thus, Oda was showing us how stupid he is. What a foolish, shut up, bitch type character Jinbei is. Okay, now that makes sense to me. Nah, he's all right. Okay, moving on. You're talking about Kuma because you killed my dad. Okay, cringe. Feeso, how can I become a translator? I want to translate Japanese. You guys looking for more translators?
Japanese first. In terms of, like, you can always apply to TCB. I think we've got enough translations for One Piece at the moment, but we'll probably put you on like a different series. Like I'm not actually involved in this. They would probably put you in a different series, and like if there's ever a need, you could be transferred to One Piece. But at the moment, we've got 3 to 4 translators who we rotate in and out depending on who's free. And
no, you're gonna get put on Hunter x Hunter. Your workload's gonna get overflowing, dude.
Hunter x Hunter is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Like, oh my god, like Togashi's brother just write a novel.
He won't do it. He will not do it. He will write manga.
He's already doing a novel just with like a couple of doodles. Like, come on, man. It's insane.
Oh no, Ronda's right. They'll put you on Rental Girlfriend, and it'll be over for you. You will not survive the exercise. Jesus Christ. All right.
Well, yeah.
So, okay, here we go. Here comes the lore, such as it is. You're talking about Kuma. He was born a slave, a descendant of people who committed a grave sin against the world, a survivor of the now extinct, he says, interestingly, holding the theoretical daughter of one of them, Buccaneer race. Okay, all right. So, I mean, is it just me, or is he basically confirming that Bonnie is not related to Kuma by saying, like, why would he be so insistent that they're extinct if he's holding his daughter, you know?
Well, he's also calling Kuma a survivor of an extinct race, so it's kind of a contradictory statement, right? He's like saying he's the only exception.
Oh, God. So none of this makes any sense, is what you're telling me?
Well, okay. The way it kind of deconfirms it is him being like, oh, you're talking about Kuma. Like, who else could she possibly be talking about if it was her biological father, right?
Well, Labrat CC, you're saying she's only half-blood. Kuma himself is only half-blood. So how half is the half getting here, you know?
Maybe when you get so dilute, the world government just doesn't count you as a Buccaneer anymore.
She doesn't pass a quadroon, and that's not enough to be enslaved or something. Seb, what are you going on about? This is insane hackta? What's the hackta? Is it that, I don't know, explain yourself. I'm not following. Okay, Bonnie. When I was a boy, I wanted to be a hero. Someone who could save people from suffering and grant them their freedom. Just like the legendary warrior of liberation, Nika! Yes! My favorite character! Okay, and by the way, I'll say this. I was thinking about this as I read this. Nika is probably gonna be just, like, some story that was, like, made up, and then, like, in the past, it, like, got turned into a devil fruit. And that could well be, like, all the mythical Zoans are like that. There was just, like, a story that was in, like, the collective consciousness of humanity or whatever, and it just got turned into a thing. Nika could be the same, you know? That's fine. I don't really care either way. I will admit, when I get to moments like this in the story, and characters are like, oh, I love Nika. Nika was always my favorite character, and it's fun. I do roll my eyes, and I'm like, like, every time they do this, it's like, it's trying to launder the idea of Nika as if it was, like, well-planned in the story, and it wasn't. That being said, though, I know I need to just get over it, because it is in the lore now. It is what it is. Just try not to think about it. What I really hate about it is just the way that it impacted Luffy's character. And this right here doesn't really impact Luffy at all. So I will just try not to think about it.
Wait, what annoys me?
What's that? What's that?
We get this exact same speech later in the chapter from Kuma's father.
Yeah, we sure do. We sure do. It feels a little redundant, but isn't Nika so special and important, you guys? Okay, Seb, right, I'm following. Buccaneer literally means pirate. Okay, I'll just throw this out. I hate the word Buccaneer, and I think that this is really stupid. It could mean something useful lore-wise. I just think the word Buccaneer is dumb. That's my point.
So, like, Buccaneers historically, if I'm right, they were, like, mostly, like, English, French, and Dutch. Like, I don't want to say adventurers, but privateers who, like, raided Spanish colonists in, like, the Caribbean, right?
A person who attacked and stole from ships at sea, especially someone allowed by a government to do this in the 17th and 18th centuries. I thought that was privateer, but I guess Buccaneer is similar.
It's a kind of privateer. Okay. So, like, it is a kind of pirate.
I don't know where Oda's going with this right now. I just think it's really stupid. I think
maybe the Buccaneers are, like, responsible for defying the world government. Like, maybe they're the ones who spread the poneglyphs under Lily's orders.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get into it a little bit more, but, like, I don't even know what they are or where we're going with them exactly. Are they just the people from the ancient kingdom or something?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Later on, we
because Kuma's dad just looks like just a big dude. But
we also get, like,
I've been hearing people being like, oh, well, all these big dudes in the story must be But no, that is not. They're not trying to imply that, like, Whitebeard was a buck. I mean, maybe he is, but we don't know. Like, Kuma's big. Does that mean
they're implying everyone who has an animal hat, like Kuma?
Is Gecko Moria Gecko Moria is like 20 feet tall. Is Doflamingo's 10 feet tall? Is he a Buccaneer? Is Shiryu Blackbeard? I mean, Blackbeard actually could be because he's.
I don't know if we can tell anything just from Kuma's appearance.
I have no idea if the size of Kuma is at all relevant or any of this. I find this plotline immediately confusing and thus frustrating because I don't know what a Buccaneer is. I don't know what their significance of the story is. Can you clarify any of this for me, Feeso? Do you understand better than me?
Big Mom would be actually a good call.
But we're just guessing. We're just wildly guessing, right? And also, they have said that they're extinct, but they know Big Mom exists. Like, I mean, I don't... Can you even tell?
Like, would it ever have been confirmed on Big Mom's case? Because she was just given to...
Well, at that point, why would they be so certain that they're all dead if there's just, like, more around? Because we have no information about what they are, and this is the Hacta is spiking right now. Okay, Tesla Novus.
Okay, for me, I don't think I agree, but mostly because I think it's unknown. For me, I think it's fine to. I don't think it's necessary for it to be like specific race. I think it could just be like a. Actually, no, because he gets enslaved because of that. I'm actually fine to see where, like, I'm fine to see, let Oda cook and see, like, where this goes, because I actually think, like, thematically it's interesting to have this kind of discrimination, like, he's born to be a slave because he's a buccaneer, but I genuinely don't like the idea of you're born to this race, therefore you're special kind of thing.
Yeah, of course.
So
not, of
I'm
course
hoping
not.
that it's less that he's special and more that like the world government are just that racist and that petty that they wiped out a group of people who opposed them in the past.
I guess I
Like-
just find it funny that look, it's not that they haven't been mentioned before. That's not a serious problem or anything. But like, there are so many humans all over the planet. There are giants. Okay, we know what a giant is. There are humans, and there has been like, and there are moon people. There are a couple of different kinds of Skypeans and moon people.
There's Lunarians now as well.
Right. The super moon dudes. But there has been like, I mean, I know it was just introduced. Okay. Things will be explained about them, but I will call preeminent Hacta right now. Okay, I'm calling it right now on whatever this Buccaneer thing turns out to be. Is it
Nate,
like a
the three
tribe, or-
races? The three races that Big Mom are missing.
Oh, I guess. Oh God, yes. So I forgot that there has been like ominously unnamed races that Big Mom was missing from her crew. Okay, well, I guess that theoretically rules out Big Mom as being one of them because she...
Well, maybe she just doesn't know.
I guess she might not know, but it talks about later about they having like giant's blood or something, right?
Yeah.
So could it just mean
Why
they're
can't
like
it just
part
be
giant?
half breed, like half race? Yeah.
But then Kuma is a quarter race, so it just starts to get confusing. You know what this reminds me of? Okay,
It's a special kind of giant.
I don't know, like fucking Saul from it was
The third one, Spiral, is just regular giants.
Right.
Big Mom doesn't have any giants because she cannibalized all those children in front of some giants, and they never forgot it.
Which was understandable. I would not want to get eaten either by Big Mom. Okay, we'll get back to this. Oh yes, so the three that Big Mom didn't have in her crew: Lunarians, giants, and I guess you could say the Three Eyes. But she does have a half breed, which is effectively a full breed. So is it just the Three Eyes? She definitely doesn't have any in her crew. She has
she has
Pudding.
3 eyes. She has Pudding.
But does that count? Because she's a
To her, it
half.
does.
I mean, yeah,
No, to her, it
I would
definitely
count it. I would count it. Oni, I don't know, whatever. Oh, okay, anyway, we'll move along, shall we? Okay, so cringe Nika reference.
Oni is actually a good goal.
What is?
Are the Onis are the Onis a race? Like
Hey, they sure seem like a
is
race.
Kaido's, or is it just like what Kaido calls himself, like the Oni princess? I don't know. Actually.
You know, with things like that, excuse me, it's like it's hard to know if it's sort of like a real plot point or not. Because I bet I could think of like many kinds of people that Big Mom doesn't have in her crew that are maybe even racial. Like, yeah, like whatever Oris
But it's not
is.
about her crew. She's actually saying that live in Totoland.
Oh,
So
okay,
we'd
either
actually
way,
even
either
need to
way.
observe them.
But so whatever Oz is, or Oz is, and Oz is still alive, Oz Jr., or at least was, and presumably there are others out there, which may or may not be the same species as what Kaido is. They've got similar horns, so I don't know, kind of
They
unclear.
look so different though.
Yeah, they do look different. So what about Oz? Does she have any of Oz in her crew? I mean, ancient giants, which counts as a
Little
giant.
Junior.
Whatever. I don't know. The sheep people with wings. Okay, you know what? It doesn't matter. Worry about that another time. But so Buccaneers appear to be the new thing that's been added to a potential checkbox of a race that Big Mom might not have. Okay, got it. All right. So Nika. Oh, let me tell you about Nika. He's been my best friend since the day I was
you
born.
said checkbox of race. I thought you were going to be like Big Mom's crew is like forced diversity. Or
Oh,
something.
it's so true. So
That
true.
talking point
She went
people
woke and she went broke. That's what happened. That's why they took the fat L repeatedly.
I hate that kind of thing. I hate that whole talking point.
Okay, but Nika. Now let's get back
Funny,
to a
Johnny.
good talking point. Nika, my favorite thing in One Piece,
Yeah.
my favorite thing in all fiction. I love Nika. I bow to Nika. Every morning I wake up and I praise Nika. Every night before I go to bed, I thank Nika for the day that I've had to enjoy. And we sing our traditional dance. Ha 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 ha. Laugh like Nika. Don to to. Don to. Love me some Nika. Okay. So, Sanji, Vegapunk, Bonnie's gonna die. She's gonna get murdered. Excellent. Very exciting stuff. All right, flashback Here we come. Yes. I absolutely let
actually,
Nika fuck
this
my wife.
"am I gonna be freed" thing, it's actually very unclear in the Japanese whether
Who's
it will
talking?
be Kuma.
Mm-mm.
No, whether it's Kuma, like, it's unclear whether she's saying, will Nika free me?
Yeah.
Or will you free me? Like, talking about Kuma. Because Kuma begins the speech being like, when I was young, I wanted to be a hero and free people.
Right.
So is
Like
that a
Nika.
follow-up to, like, oh, so are you here to free me? Or is it saying, oh, will Nika come and free me?
So
It
you're
could be
saying,
either.
in theory, this could go along with, like, this is a scene of him freeing Bonnie,
Yeah,
and maybe
Bonnie from
adopting
whatever
her or something.
and adopting her. Yeah, it could absolutely be that.
Yeah, okay.
Or it could just be like her saying one day. It could just be like Kuma saying one day Nika will free us all. Like, it could be either.
Sure. Now, I would say that if I had to flip a coin on that or just put a guess on it, like, we see Kuma dancing with Bonnie here. It doesn't look to me like in that moment they're both enslaved. I would infer. I would guess.
Probability, I would say the Nika is more likely.
Yeah. But that's a fair
I tried
observation,
to
though.
write it in an ambiguous way here.
Okay, but here we go, baby. Sorbet Kingdom. Here we are, looking kind of sunnier than I'd expect a Sorbet Kingdom to be, but fair enough. 47 years ago, South Blue. Okay, congratulations. A boy is born to this large individual and this big lass. Hello, Kuma. All right, so his blood, I won't tell anyone. So this guy is a buccaneer, or partially so, or something like that. Okay, excellent. There's Kuma. He's a cheerful baby. All right, Clap, you've got to run the world. Oh, there's government agents. Oh, no, and the doctor may have told them. Oh, how could he?
Nah, I think that the government agents were just observing, and he didn't know that they were, like, spying on the hospital.
Sure, probably true.
But he's really sorry.
And so the dad says, now, kind of foolishly, take me, I'm the one with buccaneer blood. Right, and okay, so you're saying, Dad, that they want someone with buccaneer blood. Okay, that would be you, and okay, now it's a good thing there's no one else around that shares your blood. Oh, wait, there's your son. Okay, so
well, he's trying to be like, oh, I'm the buccaneer, just take me, my wife is normal, therefore my son shouldn't count.
And again, and the one distinguishing characteristic of this guy is that he is big. And, you know, we don't know that necessarily is, like, the thing, but, again, they'll talk about, like, Giant's blood a little bit later, but it does seem to be a distinguishing characteristic. But in One Piece, there's lots of big dudes, so can't really infer that much. Oh, and for the record about Big Mom, Big Mom's parents were normal size. They were small. Yeah. And then she was just
maybe
big,
it's like,
so...
you know, it skips a generation.
Yeah, it's possible. That recessive buccaneer gene. Yeah. Okay, so it'll all be okay. All right. So they have been enslaved. The wife is normal, but they captured the whole family and enslaved them all together, which isn't that nice. They kept them together. Well done, everyone. Okay, so this buccaneer has strong power, even though he's young, so it's possible.
What's weird is how much time passed. Like, because Kuma looks much older here.
I think they're working him like as a... Okay, so he was like literally born here and was captured instantly upon being born, and
we must have skipped some time.
I mean, it got to be a couple of years at least. Yeah, I would think he could be like 5, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. So Mongrel's a buccaneer, and it does seem like he has better strength than average because he's a buccaneer. Unclear, but that kind of seems like it's being implied. But he is slow, and they beat him up, and they're gonna shoot him because he's crying. Wah, I hate that guy. But his dad, this is sad. How are you holding up, my fellow slave son? Fine,
yeah,
Daddy.
They're lying to each other.
They're covering, they're lying, because you got to do what you got to do to survive in this type of situation. Master's kind to me. I'm very lucky. Yes, lucky you. I have something to tell you. So Mom's dead, and they're trying to cheer each other up about it. Isn't it wonderful? She's in a better place. Wow, that sucks.
Nate, I had the weirdest message, because sometimes I get people messaging me being like,
Sure.
oh, is the translation of this blah blah blah. The message I got was like, did you change it from whatever it was in Japanese to the equivalent of heaven? I'm like,
okay,
the Japanese don't not have a concept of heaven. Like, it's not an unknown concept.
That seems like a question worth asking, I suppose, if you're curious.
But I really
it's like Tengoku or something.
Me. Yeah, it was exactly that.
Hey, I'm a genius. What do you know? They, although, you know, I wonder, just out of curiosity, I wonder, like, when the concept of heaven entered, like, the Japanese lexicon. Maybe they've had some concept of it.
I'm thinking it entered with China and like King Enma, King Yama. Like
so there's its own sort of like
the
its own
bureaucracy of
mythology
heaven.
that exists of like an afterlife.
Yeah,
or
I mean
something,
it's a slightly different thing, but
sure,
like,
sure. Okay,
but
well,
like
there you go.
I'm sure Western ideas of it, like like the like we don't not have a concept of reincarnation. Do you know what I mean? Like we know what it is.
We know what it is, yeah. Although we probably
Yeah,
got
like,
it
we
from
use it in our media.
wherever.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. But like we are like thousands of years removed of whenever this would have been introduced to Japanese culture, so it's
Right,
not something
right.
which doesn't come up in their pop culture.
Excuse me. Okay, well, I mean that's an interesting question, I think. So there you go.
It
Heaven
was interesting,
referenced.
interesting. But it is really sad for him to be like, isn't that great? Like she's in a better place.
I
Like,
mean,
that just shows how
of
bad
course,
this is.
it's obviously deeply fucked up. We're really digging into the cry porn with this section of the chapter, no doubt about it. And there goes Kuma, sad about his mom. Bro, why? Literally, why? Your argument is flawed. Okay, Kuma, I'm gonna hit you with your black and white fallacy, ad hominem. You need to be happy that your mother is dead. Okay, I will not tolerate this illogical behavior right now.
But what's weird is like he immediately contradicts it and be like, "Oh, being dead is better than being here." But Kuma, you've got to be here. You've got to stay and stick with it.
Yeah, it does kind of make you wonder why, or like I guess you're just supposed to not think it through that deeply. Isn't it great that your mom's dead? Oh, maybe we could also be dead. That sounds like a good idea.
But you've got to survive.
Don't.
I
do
feel
that.
like the idea is that don't feel bad because your mother is happy now because she couldn't tolerate this world.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you can. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of
I mean,
like
that's
that.
one way of looking at it, I guess. By the way, Slushy is right here. He's not crying about mom. He's crying about Nika. Because he just realized that the best plot device ever was referenced in this chapter of One Piece, and he's just delighted about it. He can't contain himself. All right, so Kuma, be strong, bear it. But why? There you go. Death is so much easier because the warrior of liberation will come and save you. We will see about that. Excuse me. The sun god Nika. There he is. Epic chapter 1 reference there. Nicely done. That name has been passed down through Buccaneer folklore for generations. Okay, now this is a little more specific. The name Nika has been passed down through Buccaneer folklore for generations. I do feel we're getting a little super special at this point with the Buccaneers, but
Well,
okay.
to be fair, it's the Japanese specifically was like it's being passed down in stories from Buccaneer families for generations.
So perhaps
But,
it's
like,
not
folklore was
singularly
just, like, the
contained within
easiest way.
Buccaneer
Yeah.
lifetime. Okay.
Like
okay.
I don't think it's only Buccaneer lore that has it, but
Okay,
I feel like
okay.
it is like an established part of Buccaneer lore. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Perhaps as an oppressed people or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Nika will come and take you out to sea where you'll
Like
be
I'm
able
sure
to
the fishmen also pass it down because like racist who's who is like fishmen are all about being slaves,
Yeah.
right? So you can tell me all about Nika. I'm sure that some ancient fishmen would have known about Nika.
It would follow,
But,
sure.
Yeah.
Nika always smiles, and people never fail to laugh when they hear his drumbeat. Don do to to, don do to to, don.
Isn't it sad that he
Bonk.
got his eye removed between chapters?
Yeah, I
mean,
between up
pages.
here, he has his eye, it's swollen, and then down here, stitched over. So
Yeah,
he lost
they
an
took
eye.
his eye. It's really...
Yikes.
We must have skipped like a few days or something.
it's pretty fucked up. And then, bam, they just shot his dad in the face, directly in front of him, and he is dead. Excuse me. Well, there you go. Shouldn't have sang your silly Nika song. Yeah, this is like sadness porn right here. This is just deeply fucked up.
It's not a race of slaves to worship Nika. It's just that slaves in general sought solace in Nika over the generations in ancient times.
And I guess,
Yeah,
there probably were a good number of fishmen that were among that number since they were an oppressed
I think
group.
it's just slaves in general. Maybe like the initial idea spread from the Buccaneers, but I don't think it's just them.
That Celestial Dragon is literally an 8, shoots on sight of Nika lore. So true. That is literally canon. I wish I was that cool. And you know what? I'm starting to think these 10 Ributo are redeemable. I think this is the moment here. I also kill Nika on sight. It had to be done. Sorry, buddy, but It had to be done. Okay, so 38 years ago. No, sorry, just out of curiosity, it was 37 or
No, it's
47
38
years ago, and now
38.
38. That being a difference of 9
yeah.
years. Okay, so Kuma is 9.
I thought
now.
you were asking when God Valley happened.
No,
which
no,
is
no.
38.
That's a little ways in the future. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. This event only takes place every 3 years. Don't miss your chance to take part. It's the Native Cleansing Festival, base department. I'd like to file an incident report. The venue chosen this time is this non-government affiliated country. You sure seem to be affiliating yourselves with it, though, for a non-government affiliated country. They call it God Valley. Wow. What do you know about that? The blasphemous name was given to the island as it has an abundance of natural resources, and they're shooting off fireworks and stuff. Wait, the world government has just annexed this land so it can be the site of our traditional human hunt. Well, so is it government affiliated, or is it not, goddammit? Did you annex it?
Well, it wasn't, but they just annexed it now.
So between this sentence and this sentence, it was
No.
annexed.
They mean like they are a non-government member. Like they
Are they
don't
after
pay the
this?
celestial tributes. They're outside of the world government, and now they've taken it over so they can wipe out the natives.
But are they going to... Well, I guess they might just kill everyone here, and like that'll be that.
No, it's militarily invaded. That's the point. They're here to kill all the citizens for sport.
Like literally all of them?
Yeah, it's the native cleansing ritual. They're going to wipe out the island.
Yeah,
They're gonna
okay.
genocide the island.
All right. How selfish can you be? You want to slaughter our citizens for sport? Have you lost your minds? This is our country, my lord. And boom, you got a little slash. You got a zuba. Taskete kudasai. And, okay. Hold your horses, Saint Garling. I know that name. You've gone and started for the buzzer. Wahaha. In a shocking twist, the king of the natives has already been slain. As penalty for starting, Saint Garling is docked 10,000 points. What a blow for one of the predicted front runners. That could be me right now. Man, I want to play this game. It looks like my kind of game. I need a handicap like that to keep things interesting. There we go. There's the Moon Man himself, Saint Figarland Garling, one of God's knights, possibly the leader at this point, but at least one of the dudes. And to spruce up the proceedings, we've arranged to add some additional game to be hunted alongside the natives. These slaves are all notorious troublemakers and sinners. Once they're released, we'll kill them. There you go. And boom. Okay, so there they are. So there's Saint Jay Garcia is on site. Yeah.
First thing, Jay Garcia is the same age.
He does look the same, and so this is 30. What was that? 37 years before
ago.
right now. So we don't know his age, and it doesn't look like he has changed one bit. Now, it is theoretically possible that he was an old man then, and he's still an old man now. But it is beginning to get suspicious how identical he looks.
So, if we scroll up, can you see the treasure chests with the guy who's doing the announcement?
Yes.
Yeah, the big cause for speculation is like the Gomu Gomu no Mi was found in a similar chest. So what if these are like prizes for the human hunt, and like you win a devil fruit if you do well in the tournament?
Sure.
And the idea which I've seen floating around is Kaido's fruit could be in there, and this is where Big Mom got it during the scrap in God Valley, which happens later.
Yeah.
Maybe when Kuma, Ivankov, and if Dragon is part of this, maybe their fruits are in there and they can steal it when they escape.
I will call shenanigans instantly because these are extremely plain-looking chests, and I find it very hard to believe.
Have you seen what the Gomu Gomu no Mi was in?
Well, look. I mean, that may be sort of like one of those, Oda goes back and he like
retrospective.
Okay, yeah, one of those retrospective things. Because these, frankly, look very plain for just like 10 Ryubito chests. Why aren't they made of solid gold or something?
For all we know, they are. It's just not.
Well, we know that Luffy's wasn't, and I'm just saying if it looks similar to that at all. Now there is the whole thing about Shanks being found in a chest or whatever, which
yeah, exactly, and Shanks could like end up in one of these chests after the fruit or whatever treasure
easily
taken out.
Maybe his dad here has got a son kicking around or something, and
this guy doesn't look like a guy who cares about his son, though. I reckon it's the mother who like froze him in the chest during the Rock's attack for his safety or something.
That would make sense. Although, you know, I've forgotten the timeline. Is this the correct timeline
It's
for
the same year.
Okay, it's the same
It's
year
the
where
same
it
year
happened. So
that
basically,
Rocks
we're
will
gonna
attack.
see like the Rocks
Within
stuff
like a
happen.
few months. Well, okay, what I think will happen
Yeah.
is like Garling will win the cleansing ritual. He'll like wipe out all the natives
Sure.
and be deemed the champion of God Valley, the king of God Valley, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And like his family will be there, whatever. The celestial dragons will be there with their slaves. And then Rox will show up, and I think Rox will be shadowed and whatever, and Kuma and whoever survived it, whatever. I reckon, like, you know, Garp, like I feel like Kuma, like, is one of the few slaves who, like, survives this.
Sure.
But
Sure,
I
sure.
don't think we'll see Rox. I think we'll just see, like, Big Mom or Kaido, and, like, hear that Rox is fighting Roger in the background somewhere. But we won't actually see it.
Sure. I mean, that makes sense to me. Okay, let me see. There we go. Okay, so
No, wait, there's a question,
yeah.
Animatic. Yeah, Shanks is, he was discovered in a treasure chest by Roger and Rayleigh, after God Valley, according to Film Red and other material from Oda.
Okay, and I need to now just double check. This is 30, was it 37 years?
It's 38 years ago.
38 years ago. Okay, and I see that Shanks is, so pre-time skip, he was 37 years old. And now, so he is now 39 years old. So Shanks, I guess, would need to be either 1 or 2.
Yeah, it'd
which
be like 1.
seems about right for that. So,
and, you know, Roger is like, oh, it's nostalgic to have a baby back on board when he's holding Momonosuke up.
right.
So, like, he raised Shanks, I guess.
Right. Makes sense.
What blew my mind about this was God Valley 1 isn't like I thought God Valley with its name was always a Tenryubito island.
Yeah.
Not that it was happened to be called God
It
Valley.
just happens to be called, I mean,
yeah.
Mother of God, but okay.
But the other thing is, I was certain it would be somewhere in the friggin' New World, not friggin' the West Blue. So, like, for ages, I thought that Shanks was like a BS artist, being like, "Oh yes, my native
I didn't even
West
read
Blue
that.
sake."
Why the hell is it in
But
the
no,
West
he actually
Blue?
is born. Like, he apparently is from the West Blue.
Okay, I mean, I guess it could have been anywhere. Fair enough, I guess. God Valley's in the West Blue. What do you know? So that's why Shank says he's from the West Blue. Although,
Yeah, I know.
okay, it needs to be addressed at some point, and this we may need to call hacked. I'm sure Oda will work this in somehow. But Shanks was like, the village where I grew up is famous for its sake, and I love it to this day. And so there has to be like
Maybe
a
it's
village.
God Valley.
I mean,
God
it's
Valley.
been wiped off the map. God damn it! That wouldn't make any goddamn sense.
What do you think is on this island that makes Rox attack it, though? Do you think it's just to slaughter a bunch of world nobles? Or
I
do you
think
that
it is
there's,
almost
like, something-
definitely due to the fact that the game is going on here, and he either like wanted treasure or it would just be too much of a coincidence. I think for
I think maybe it's possible that like Uranus is like hid here.
it's
or
possible.
something.
It's possible,
And that's why they like, you know, they chose to hold it here, and maybe that's why Rox is attacking.
my
it. I
money
don't-
is on Rox wanted to like steal the treasure that was going on here.
Yeah.
that's my bet. We'll see.
I wonder what brings Roger here. It's very interesting.
Oh yeah, what?
The last thing I'll mention is that we know Garp comes in here and defends the slaves and the
Yep.
Tenryubito with Roger. I thought maybe it's possible that Dragon could be a Marine, like he was like inducted by his father, forced
Sure.
to become a Marine,
That
and
makes
then he
sense.
sees all this slavery and like
that
genocide,
may well happen.
and
here.
he like helps Kuma and Ivankov and whoever escape. I think that's a possibility.
Let me just
So,
see.
yeah, that's everything.
I'm just checking Dragon's age, just because I'm curious if he would be an enlisted.
He'll be
man.
17 here.
Yeah, okay, he is 55, so there you go. Okay, 17. Yep,
Yeah.
so he definitely could be there. All right, so moving along. Okay, a child escaped. It was the Buccaneer brat. Okay, there you go. All right, so slaves trying to run away. How selfish can you get? They put us in groups of 10 for collective punishment. If you got away, we would have been killed. And then
We actually see this when
yeah.
Bonnie puts her hand into that bubble to see his memories.
Oh, is this what we saw? This clip right here?
Yeah.
So we
we
understand
see the
why
other
it's going on.
slaves beating him up and saying, "You can't escape."
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
They'll kill us. Yeah.
Hee haw! Hey, wait up! Are you the star of this farce? A buccaneer? No wonder. You carry the blood of the giants in you. Okay, so that's interesting. So maybe it's a half-breed race or something.
It's a great Ivankov voice.
Yes, thank you. Big bro here is pretty big himself, don't you think? Slave Ginny. Only thing
Thank
big
God
about...
you said Ginny. Do you know how many times I've watched like reviews and reactions where people are like Guinea, and I'm like, have you ever met like?
Yeah, I mean, I know the name Ginny, like in Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
but apparently most One Piece fans haven't like touched grass.
Now,
or met
to
a
be
Ginny
fair,
in
maybe
their life.
they're reading like they're like it was a Japanese word, and they're because it would
Yeah.
be gi if
Yeah.
it was, you know. I'll give them a little
It
bit
is.
of slack.
It is. Yeah, I was very close to spelling it like Jin.
Yeah.
EY to mirror Bonnie a bit more.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, okay, the only thing big about me is my head. Not. Good one. Listen, you morons. Why do you all have hopeless looks glued to your faces? I, for one, want to live. Well, what are you going to do? So, Ginny and Emporio Ivankov, there he is, as a young man, and meeting an unexpected duo in this hellish existence. Break next week. All right.
And Ginny is clearly like related to Bonnie, right? With the freckles,
The big
the
eating
eyelashes,
going on,
the
and
food, yeah.
I mean, it would be.
And the name is just one, like it's one kind of off.
Yeah,
from, like,
I
G
mean, people were
as
being
well.
like, "It's Luffy's mom" or whatever. Okay, I mean, it's probably just Bonnie's mom is what's going on here.
Yeah.
Extremely likely. So, there you go. And introduced eating meat. I mean, yes, it is Luffy-esque, but that is also Bonnie-esque. So, there you go. Okay, so, I mean, and, you know, fucking Ivankov here. Here's the origin story. Guess Ivankov was a slave and is going to escape and go do all kinds of crazy Okama stuff.
What's Crocodile's age?
Let's double check. Crocodile. One Piece.
44.
Could Ginny be Crocodile? I think guaranteed. Crocodile is 46, so he'd be pretty young. What, 8 years old here?
Yeah, he would be 1 year younger than Kuma, who was born 47 years ago.
Right,
according
right.
to the chapter.
So there you go. So Croco is off being a young man. All right, so I guess we're done reading the chapter. Is there anything else? I mean, I get basically we kind of are left with the cliffhanger. Kuma's stuff is going to progress here. There will be God Valley stuff, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get the full brunt of God Valley yet.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be reserved for Shanks's flashback later.
Sure. But we might get bits and pieces.
Yeah, I think we'll get like a basic gist of what went down, and we'll get it from like Kuma's perspective and his escape.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting to see like what wildlife Kuma has had already. Like, this is very efficient storytelling, how like succinct the tragedy is. It's almost too much, but I feel like it's fine. Like, one flashback which I thought was a bit much was like Robin, who had like, you know, no family, and the Cinderella story.
Hers was
and
absolute
everyone
cry
she knows
porn, for
died,
sure.
and yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe this is maybe one step below that, even though like the stuff happening here are way more
I mean, in terms
horrific.
of concentrated tragedy,
Yeah.
it is currently definitely above
Yeah.
it, but it just
This
hasn't
is
gone
up
on
there,
that long like
but-
Robin's did.
Like, there's only one thing that went wrong here, and that was he was enslaved because of his race.
Only one thing. Well,
So far,
his dad
so like
was
I don't
murdered,
feel like we're
his
dealing
mom
with multiple
died.
situations.
Yeah,
But they're all like they all stem from the same like evil, right? So like to me, it's not like okay, and also
Sure.
she gets bullied, and also the government have like put a bounty on her, and also like Soul gets frozen, and also like to me it does feel like separate like kicks in the
well,
teeth.
give him time. Give him time.
How long do you think this flashback will last? Because I feel like
Yeah.
he's gonna go back to become king of Sorbet at one point,
Right,
like,
and
eventually
well, just to
revolutionary.
answer that question,
and he'll be called a tyrant. And
so
stuff, you know?
he's got to be called Tyrant. Yep, that box has to get checked. I was thinking like, okay, how is an escaped slave going to become king of a world government affiliated nation again? What's going to happen there? But the answer to that, it probably is like by doing what the world government says and like making a deal with them, maybe to protect Bonnie or something, or whatever
He
it
probably
is.
became a warlord before becoming a king, right? No, he didn't.
Well-
I don't know. Because like
I don't
Doflamingo did
know.
it in that order. He became a warlord, then became a king.
Is that right? Okay, I mean
Yeah,
something
it
like
is.
that. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I mean he's gonna go back, and we know that he's the world government's bitch, and he's been like their science monkey for a long time now. So
If
clearly he's doing something
Dragon,
for him.
if Dragon doesn't help them escape from this situation, I think the alternate way he could meet them is that like Kuma escapes and then goes on to actually be a terrible tyrant to the king, and then Dragon beats him and makes him see the light, and like he
That would
repents
be
or whatever.
very hard to imagine for like a
Yeah.
sob story slave boy of this degree to
Yeah,
then just
to
become a
become like
tyrant.
yeah,
I've long
douchebag.
suspected his whole tyrant
That's
shtick.
what I thought before I saw this slave
Yeah.
thing, though.
Maybe he does do some fucked up stuff, but I am sure it was all for like a cause of some kind. He felt he needed to, or
Misunderstood or
yeah,
something.
like that. I don't know. But
It's
Bonnie just
interesting.
seemed like legitimately confused that he was like called that. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be clarified. It might just be one of those things where like she sees a different side of him, even though he has to do bad things elsewhere. So.
You know what? I feel like the way that this backstory has been coded so far, I feel like Kuma will be almost nothing but a victim throughout his entire life. Before, like,
Well,
I feel like
yeah.
his one act of agency will be the decision to remove his agency.
And I know what that act of agency will be. Do you know what it is?
Removing his agency, becoming a robot, right?
No. He makes a far more important choice than that. It's when he accepts Jesus Christ into his heart and soul and allows him to be his personal savior. That's the moment we're waiting for.
Oh,
Yes.
I had an art. Like, I had someone trying to convince me that like Kuma's Bible is actually about Lily.
About
And it's
Lily.
Lily on the
I've
cover.
seen bits and pieces of those discussions. I've heard people say that like the Bible is gonna actually be about Nika. And like maybe there's some retrofitting going on, but like that Bible just had Jesus on the cover originally.
Well, yeah, I think it has the Virgin Mary on the cover, actually.
I remember it looking kind of like a dude, but I could be wrong. I gotta have a double check.
But either way, Jesus and Mary are always like very often depicted with a sun behind them.
I mean,
So
that is
it's
how the
kind of-
halo looks. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
it
traditional
is
halo
how it looks
is like a
even
sun.
on Kuma's Bible.
I mean, the Jesus parallels are not coincidental.
The thing about like real world mythology and religions cropping into something like One Piece is that you're not meant to think about it too much because
Yeah,
like
of
does like friggin' like Judea and like Palestine and
Yeah.
like all of these like Rome and stuff, do they exist because they're referred to in the Bible all
Mm-hmm.
the time? Do they exist in the One Piece world
I
now?
believe that until proven otherwise, I'm just assuming that the Bible is just like
Yeah.
it's just retconned out. Like
A
it just
Bible.
wasn't thought through, and that's fine.
No, I actually feel like it's just kind of like one of those, like when Luffy does a punch, he like some of his moves are named after like mythological beings like Thor and stuff. Like I just feel like Oda just takes for granted, or not takes for granted, but like you're just meant to assume that
It's
these
non-diegetic,
concepts
basically.
exist, or,
He
like,
couldn't know who
universal.
Thor really is. We just
Yeah,
it's for a, yeah.
or like there is an equivalent in universe if you need to hand wave it, but like we've got so many like Christian symbols. Like we've got the nuns in Law's flashback. We've got the nuns Zoro beats up in Whiskey Peak. We've got all those
They have
cross-shaped
crosses and
graves.
stuff. Yeah,
We've got churches and we've got like
and
crucifixes.
I do not think
and...
they're all worshiping Nika. You know, I do
Yeah,
not
and,
think
like,
so.
obviously the Bible, and like we've also got other religions. Like we've got a bunch of like clearly like mosque-inspired designs in Arabasta.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah.
like
I mean, all of
friggin'
Skypiea
Buddhism.
heaven imagery.
Yeah,
you know.
we've got the Buddha. We've got Sengoku
Right.
the Buddha, right, and stuff like that. And like Zoro makes a bunch of references to Buddha, and like
And
his
Saturn
attack-
is clearly a rabbi. That very true.
And
very true.
Wano has clearly got a lot of Shinto references. So like there's like it. I'm not saying like the real world religions are real in One Piece. I'm saying that like Oda has drawn from these cultures, and it's not something which we need to think too much about.
Yep, an important lesson to keep in mind. Yeah.
Wait, just to answer. Corfion. I think they speak in Japanese, but I think like the written language is Romanji. I think it's like Romanized Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see that in like the anime and stuff, where like they like it'll say like Big Mom, and it'll like have like a bunch of descriptions in Romanji instead of actual Japanese.
Ace's shirt had a bunch of kanji on it, and the Marines write in Japanese.
Yeah,
What's
that
up
is
with
true. I feel it is a combination.
It's
like,
just not
sometimes
supposed
I
to be
like
thought through that deeply.
But sometimes it's in Romanji.
For some reason,
on...
the Marines have a Japanese aesthetic to them. Why is that? It's not. Yeah,
dude. For years, I thought Fujitora was a vassal of Odin, and he blinds himself because he sees Odin boiled alive. For years,
this is your working theory for him.
Yeah, but then it turned out
it
like,
could have gone that way. It could have gone that way. But instead, you got a different
I want to show you this image. I'm linking it to you. This is why I say the One Piece language is Romanji, because you've got stuff like this floating around.
Okay, let's see. Opening it up. Monkey D. Luffy. Mugiwara Kaizokudan Sentoyu. There you go. Stuff written in Romanji.
Japanese, or like written in English.
Now, this strikes me as deeply non-canon, though. But
it's even in the friggin' manga, though.
Is it really? Okay. Right.
Yeah, I think so. It's much less legible, though.
Interesting. And this I guess would be Mondor's book.
Yeah. This is Hulk-Kana.
Well, shit. What do you know? All right. Well. There you go, folks. All right, so we're at the end of the chapter, and
is it Goda or Hakta, though?
That is the question. Now, do I have any other memes I need to address? Let me check here. I pulled up one of them before. The blue leg Sika dominance is supreme.
This comment. Let's not think too much about One Piece. 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Well, this was 2 chapters in my defense. Okay.
In our defense.
Okay. Well, thank God we've got a good character here. Ass pull, magical swords, Jerma fuckery, longtime erotic sex enjoyer. His back is sore from carrying the world government's fraudulent ass. Saint J. Garcia Saturn. He no-diffs them all and stunts on these hoes. Yes, this is good. I laughed when I read this. Very nicely done, Mr. Rabbi. I appreciate your contributions to the chapter. And I'll just show this again because it's funny. I laugh when I see the Moon Man's hairstyle. Okay, well, that's it. We're done with the chapter, and now it is time to vote on if this was in fact Goda or Hakta. So let's see how he laughed. Yes, that's me. Direct quote of me. So Goda was 55% this chapter, okay, and 45% Hakta. So 159, holy shit, from Metalia.
Does that mean that people thought that this chapter was less Goda than last?
It's correct. They did think this chapter was less Goda.
Hakta
is going
for me,
stronger.
It's the complete flipped. I actually thought this chapter was much stronger than last.
Interesting. Well, we will see where the chips fall. Ambassador Blanca voting with 100,000 buckaroo bits, 25 to 34. It's relatively close this time. Relatively close. So, okay, let's go up. And you know what? Everyone, let's just start spamming, shall we? Just start spamming Goda or Hakta in the chat. Okay, start over here. What'll it be? Now's your chance to affect the voting for all time. To win all the buckaroo bits? Oh, wait. Buckaroo bits? Is that like a buccaneer bit? Holy shit. Chapter 1 moment right there.
Chapter 1.
Holy Christ. All right.
I think they think you'll pick the opposite of what you did last time.
They may, because I'm a man of contrarianism. I'm a man of contradiction. But really, there's really no choice in it. I merely follow the winds of fate, okay? I just listen to what my rabbi tells me, my rabbi, Jay Garcia, and I vote as he tells me to vote.
It's like he says, we'll see where fate takes us.
That's correct. And where shall fate take us this time? Let's find out right now, shall we?
Oh...
Classic Hakta chapter right there, no doubt about it.
What? Are you serious? Last chapter was so much like worse than this one. Dude, I would have completely flipped which ones are Goda and which ones are
Oh yeah? Well, I'm just curious. Why do you think last chapter was weaker than this one?
Last chapter, barely anything happened. Like, it's
I like
cool
the Kizaru fight
the
stuff
magic
a little
thing.
bit. And the Jay Garcia appearance, I thought,
it
was,
just feels
was
like
impressive.
a transition, whereas this
Yeah.
one, it feels like we're actually getting to the meat of the conversation with Jay, and we also get like the flashback stuff, which I've been waiting for ages.
Oh, Scrollpuss was all in. I'm so sorry, everyone. It's so over. Let's just refresh.
Wait,
real
what
quick.
makes this a what makes this a hack the chapter for you?
Well, you know,
how's it
as we all
down to
know,
last-
none of these chapters
are actually
are
bad.
outright bad. Obviously, that's true. But in the fun piece existence in which we live, I don't know. I mean, I'm not even sure I like this chapter less than last chapter, but it just feels like the right thing
You
to
just
do.
did
know?
it to flip the
It
last.
just feels like the right thing to do.
This
You
even
know?
had a year of Frankie punch in it.
This was the peak of the year of Frankie. You know, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true. But
I feel
even
like
he,
you should go back.
even he couldn't save. You know, you got things like, oh, Nika was my favorite character the whole time. Everyone loves Nika. Okay, I mean, you can't underestimate a good Nika reference for voting hack.
Everyone does love Nika.
Everyone literally loves Nika and always
But not
has
as much as
since
they like
chapter
Uta.
1.
Not as much as they love Uta.
The Buccaneer stuff, I gotta say, look, again, it might be explained, whatever. Again, you can't underestimate how stupid I think that name is. I think that name is really, really stupid. Name it like anything else. It just means pirate. Why is there a race that just means pirate, dude? I don't know. I think that's dumb. Come up with a better name. Major hack to points for that. What else we got? The sob story. I think, is this the literal peak sob story of the entire series? I think
I've
that it
always
is.
found Brooks' flashback saddest, to be honest.
Well,
But-
saddest, sure, and that was over the span of what, maybe like 2, maybe 3 chapters that I
Yeah.
think Brooke had his flashback with.
But like this one's probably the most brutal.
It's the most brutal. It's the most brutal, and I find it a bit over the top. I don't know. I mean, and like it's fine. I do find the Tenryubito kind of cartoonishly villainous, which isn't unbelievable. It is reasonably believable for like what they are. But man, it sure is crazy to depict
when
it.
they get to the point of the genocide like games which they're doing,
genocide
like, the Hunger
games, genocide games for fun. It is quite something. It is quite.
But
something.
it's not something which I'm like, oh, they would never do this. This is like
Well-
the bridge too far. It's just like I can believe it of them. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, frankly, I have some sort of like believability concerns about the genocide game, because like the thing about a nation is if you tried to genocide it, they're gonna try to stop you from doing that, and like
I assume that they like are completely like defenseless, and I assume like the
don't know,
world
maybe.
nobles don't like. I doubt they'll get their hands dirty themselves, other than the God's Knights.
well,
I
but
feel
they're
like-
waving their guns around right here, you know, and these are just like normal.
Yeah.
I'm like, is no one gonna get hurt during this? All it takes is one lucky punk with a gun. Now maybe they just have like their God's
they don't
Knights
have
that
this-
are so strong that like no one's in
Yeah.
any danger. That is possible.
Or maybe they've got slaves and collars who aren't willing to like
Yeah.
disobey them, and they'll kill for them.
Sure,
they'll
all
count for their
possible.
honor.
All possible things.
Oh wait, can we check Garling? He doesn't have
Yeah.
the bubble around him.
I have noticed that he does not have the bubble. He seems, and I mean, also Saint Jay Garcia also
Yeah.
does not have the bubble around him. And it's always been said that the bubble, it's a class thing. They just don't want to breathe the same air. It's never been said that like they have to. And maybe as like he's technically like a working man of the Tenryubito. It's a position of honor, I guess, probably to be one of the God's Knights. But
Initially,
probably
I
just doesn't
thought
care.
that it was like like they were less deluded. Like the Gorosei like knew the true like way of the world. Like,
Yeah.
because like they were like,
that's
oh,
probably
it's
true.
so unfortunate that we have to massacre Ohana. Like they didn't like until recently they weren't like, oh, humans are less than us.
yeah.
But recently with Jay Garcia, they've like started to be like human natures, maggots and insects.
Yeah, and
stuff,
I have
so-
found that characterization, like it's kind of like the flattening of the Tenryubitos.
Yeah, I feel
maybe
like
we
they're
could
a
keep
bit
him a
less...
little more like perspective as the guy who's like in charge of. He can still hate them and have contempt for them, but
yeah,
you know,
they talk
don't
about
know.
humans like they are different things. But they do still like express some regret. But then again, this chapter he was like, I want to like kill you in the order that you guys would hate the most.
Yeah, see, that felt like vindictive and a little bit flanderizing of like they're just like when during the O'Hara flashback.
Yeah,
like,
they're like
Professor Clover was talking to the tall guy.
like,
that guy seemed legitimately remorseful that he had to do.
Yeah, and he had like respect for Clover, and like it was only
that
until
was good,
a certain point.
and I liked that guy because it's like, oh, this guy clearly has a struggle. He feels that it is his duty to like repress information worldwide, but he kind of regrets that he has to do it. Meanwhile, Jake Garcia is like, no, fuck them all. I love killing people. It's super fun, and I do it every day for pleasure.
Parts of me will
cringe.
miss the impression I had of the Gorosei as non-fighters, just like overseers of the world who have to do an unfortunate duty.
I kind of think it made more sense for them to sort of be like separate, aloof administrators. They've got their God's Knights, right?
Either.
They're the ones who do the killing.
I don't hate this either, because I do think like the immortals who see them as insects. Maybe it varies depending on the Gorosei, to be honest.
Yeah,
maybe Jay is just the more brutal one.
I mean, when we get to as things go on, when we get to like tall, skinny guy with the beard, I am going to be thinking back to his interaction with Professor Clover, and I'm going to be like, does this jive? If he's like, oh, he just loves killing people, and it's like his favorite thing, I'm like, then why was he so remorseful about killing Professor Clover? Does he just like respect him as a scholar? But these guys hate scholars, and they hate people.
Even like Jay Garcia, he's
the science guy, too.
Yeah, but he is like, oh, it's such a shame, Vegapunk, it's such a shame.
Yeah, there is some of that. That's true. It's not. I find it a bit flattened from like what I would consider older depictions, for the sake of what to me looks like they're just trying to make like a cartoonishly evil antagonist for the
Darling
enemies.
here definitely seems like an ass though, because
no doubt about
he's
him.
not wearing the bubble, but he's still like, oh, I need that handicap, and he's killing that king. No remorse.
It's all for the greater good. That's Shanks' dad there. He's a good man, and he'll prove that to us. I feel that that's all but confirmed. All right, well, I think we're done, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching the stream. And there will be no One Piece chapter next week, and I've got some further bad news, ladies and gentlemen. Not one with next week. Not two, but actually 3 weeks. I am going to be unable to do shit coming up. 3 weekends. So you're just going to have to live without me for those 3 weeks. And I know. I wouldn't do it if I could avoid it, but it's just how life goes sometimes, So just prepare to vote Hacta for those weeks. It is what it is. Now, I don't plan on taking any breaks anytime soon after that, but it'll be what it is. Big gomenasais, big arigato gozaimasu to all of you. I know, I've got so many birthdays for myself lined up. It's going to be great. One Piece isn't the same without you. I know. You definitely like it way too much without me, so I need to come back and way lower those expectations. All right, excuse me. I know. It's unavoidable, though. There's nothing I can do. So, I mean, that's all there is. I learned from the best, Oda. I learned to work as little as possible and do nothing all the time. So, hey, come by on Sunday. That'll be my last stream before The Void. All right, The Void month, basically, coming up. I am dying. We're all dying. And it's unavoidable, so prepare for it accordingly. Yeah, this cough, I got to get it checked out. It's my anime cough, and I'm definitely going to die. Feeso, hey, thanks.
Saying I should see the stream.
You should do the stream instead. Very true. Very true. Thanks for coming on. Everybody's always glad to see you.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for everyone watching and tolerating my voice. It's great to come on here and post the series. It's a lot of fun.
The people do appreciate your perspective, as do I. Wrong though it may be, across the board. Luckily I'm here to correct it. So that's always a plus. All right. Well, thanks for being here. Right, guys. We'll see you. Hey, go be in the Discord. Talk with your fellow individuals during Legap month, the Void weeks, and I'll be back before you know it.
Have like a tattoo, like 1YX, and then like
right. It'll be like 3 weeks, 1 year, or something. Yeah. We'll see you in 1 year from today, people. All right, I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you guys.
I will stay
Thanks for
based.
watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, see you soon. Bye.